Leongatha, along with Bowman, and the one Cameron Olden's going in there as well. While for Moe, it's Vince and Blazer and Seppi.
Couple of high
Your
half
matchups
forwards.
are spot on. Scallion to White, West away to Long, and Baboon goes to Farrell.
Well, the umpire's about to get the prelim final underway for 2019. Leongatha and Moe at the Morwell Rec Reserve, and the first hand goes on towards Willis it was. He had to work hard at ground level. Olden quick kick out of the centre square, goes inside forward 50 for the first time. Trying to get a handle on it there was Ganane. Good little handball over the top. That was a quick kick there by Seppi. Goes down the line. No one can really mark it. Ainsworth flicked one off to Harry Sim. Got boot the ball quick. And White will take the mark at the top of the 50.
So White now from outside 50. Good start for him. A confidence player with that big left leg. Could almost kick the distance off the leg. Distance, no problem. Accuracy out of play on the ball. Opening minute. The first shot on goal, but inaccurate. So a free kick to go Leongatha's way, and they're looking to change the play early.
Yeah, Westaway brought it into Sandbrook. He can get it further out wide. Bowman's his target. Outside 50 marks. He's got a handle over the top. He wants to go to Cooper. Decides to kick down the line. And here's the youngster in, Jack Hume. He's on the wing for the Parrots. They drive it to the top of the 50. Hasn't got much leg on it. And Tyson Biffin will take the inset mark and quickly look inboard, but not go there, Poppy.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's got a couple of options. Gives ground, goes inboard now. Gave a lot of ground to find his mate and Tom Fleming. And Fleming again changes play. In fact, very similar to what you might expect from Leongatha.
Good tackle.
Farrell tackled by the big man, opposing ruckman in Willis, but both were beaten by the boundary. So there'll be a boundary throw in. 75 metres from Leongatha's goals. They're kicking, as you heard, to the left of radio to the Morwell end of the recreation reserve.
Interesting matchup for me is Sam Brooks taking Jacob Wood as well. So if you look at the height, there's a fair bit of height difference there too. I'm not sure how that's going to pan out for the rest of the afternoon.
A mismatch, I'd say,
Poppy's,
especially at ground level.
Your perfect matchup, Poppy. Your perfect setup in the forward line. Wood's there for you.
Here we go. Let's see if we can't get the ball out through Blazer. Dances around one, shimmies one out, a quick handball, and he finds Seppi. And his kick, though, is cut off, and Leongatha will...
You got a free kick
too high.
Free kick, okay, too high. I was wondering what you were doing there, Box.
I was tapping him back in my head for no reason.
I thought you were choking yourself, and everyone's got their own little...
Blazer has it across half-back. He's at his defensive 50, goes short. Seppi's been busy early.
Scud Braganolo has gone to Nagel.
And Seppi just waits, looks at that far side again. The target, the kick was smothered by Ganane. It ricochets back inside forward 50. Ganane did well with a bit of body work. Now he just tries to win it. It tapped off the ground by Fleming. Blazer, quick handball out, back to Seppi. His kick was rushed to Sim. Coming in there quickly was Van Dyke. He got a handball out wide now that was Braganolo. Kick around the body, goes high to the wing area. And Baboon and, they battle at it, Big Farrell. Ball was still in play while they went to wrestle. Comes out the back to Kyle Cooper. Just got his boot to ball as he got slung around in a tackle from Moe, and that caused the errant kick to go out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, Scudden looks like Baboon's happy to lag off when Dylan Farrell plays up the ground as well, leaving him to the intercept mark.
Bernie Vince gets his first touch of the day, a short kick back to Seppi, who's been busy in the early minutes of this first quarter. Preliminary final, Leongatha, of course, playing Moe. Winner to meet Mafra next weekend in the Gippsland Latrobe Grand Final to be played at Traralgon. At the moment, though, it's Leongatha through Marriott from the half-back line. Feeds it off. A quick kick forward from Kelly. Goes towards the outer side of the ground. With that slight breeze, we can expect the ball might spend a bit more time over that side of the ground. So, right now, there'll be a boundary throw-in, Box.
Sorry, Poppy. Renitz has gone to Lloyd. Lloyd doesn't look like he had that knee heavily strapped like he did last week, either two boys. So maybe he's looking a lot better this week in regards to his injury.
Just check your players there, Boxer.
Okay.
Good work down there. As still no score, 4 minutes into this first quarter. And on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard, no score.
Pretty sure that's Renitz on Lloyd.
I've liked what I've seen from Moe at this stage. They've managed to stop what has sometimes happened against them. Let the opposition get a quick start on them. A quick kick out of the pack from Van Dyke. Goes towards half forward. This might spell danger. The big fella in white from 55 sees a lead and goes whooshka. Finds McLeod, who kicks straight in front of goals from 45 metres. And I tell you what, White, he's promised plenty, delivered not much, but this could be the day that he starts.
Yeah, absolutely. Just starting to get a few miles under his legs as well. Him and Seppi both coming off some injury concerns as Farrell has a rest. But coming in to have his first shot on goal, Lachlan McLeod keeps it low, and he's pulled it. It's a minor score on the Harvey Norman's Computers Gippsland scoreboard. First time this afternoon.
Oh, this is fantastic. So it's Moe 1 point.
Anyway, back to the play now.
Westaway goes short to Sandbrook in the back pocket. Sandbrook just backpedals slowly. Not really
Look
much
at Wood on the mark. They're serious.
Yep, working it overtime he is. Kicks it high out. Lloyd will fly. Good spoil by Stanlake, front and square. There was Seppi. So was Marriott. Caught one over the shoulder. The umpire said no. My ball. Top of the attacking 50 for Moe. We're 5 minutes in. Moe lead by a point.
Just with Farrell going off too, lads. He was limping when he come off too. He got a heavy tackle from Ben Willis on that far side of the ground. May have impacted him more than what we know.
Borshman running with Vince at the moment. Keep an eye on that contest as Leongatha win the ball up to stoppage. The tackle laid by Woods. Beauty. Right half forward flank. Moe kicking to the highway end of the recreation reserve. And the Lions leading by the solitary point.
1-3. Moe got one back from this stoppage. Both ruckmen wrestle each other to the ground. Bowman somehow got a handball away. Forrester did well. Gave it to Borshman. Kicks down the line. Here's Hopkins. He likes him over the back and he's got it. He's got some space. He takes on Biffin. Slips over. Handball's now across to Easton. He tries to get the handball back. Good tackle by Stanlake. Causes the fumble. Boundary throw in. Great crowd building here at the Morwell Rec Reserve on prelim final day.
Tell you what, Scud, he's got some pace to burn Hopkins, and I'm not sure whether Fleming is the right matchup for him.
Ball gets to the back of the boundary throw in. Willis handballs across. Davidson gets around a blazer tackle, then boot to ball. It's going to bounce. It bounces the wrong way. It took a right angle bounce, and it goes through for the minor score. Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard.
It is. It's 1 point apiece now here in the second quarter. We've played 6 minutes.
Okay, here we go. So to bring the ball back into play, it's going to be Biffin. Well done to Boxer, who's really on his game today, enjoying the extra resposition.
He's too much to do.
He's just fast forward the whole quarter. We're in the second.
Yep. It's okay. Another 3 minutes. The game will be over. As Biffin brings the ball back into play, goes short, finds a teammate there, and I'm speaking of Cox Edge, defensive 50. Who will not rush play, not turn it over. Play on's the call. The umpire tries to press forward. And now through Biffin, who just found Cox Edge a moment ago, kicks towards the boundary line, but it was cut off by Sovereign,
yep.
who will take the mark out of side of the ground.
Did I really say second quarter?
7 minutes in, yes. Scores locked up. Sovereign drives it to the top of the 50 over Lloyd's head. Rennet was there as well. Biffin's over the back. Happy to see it go over. Boundary throw in. Boxer. What do we notice so far?
The matchups are fantastic. It's just they're playing between both arcs at the moment. Just both sides are going willy-nilly at it. So it's turnover city at the minute. We're just waiting for someone to settle first.
All right, so the ball thrown back in. Still Moe responding quite well, defensive 50. They danced the sim around the corner. In fact, it could have been Ainsworth. A quick kick, and guess what? Third mark of the day. Big Spencer White's been busy.
Bit high, though, for my liking.
He is, and he kicks towards the corridor. Found Farrell.
They've got to turn and go. This is where they slow the ball down.
Or Reese. So Reese now inside forward 50. It's 5v1. The one is Moe. Wood comes in to lend some hand by numbers. Picks it up. Steals the ball. Goes looking for his teammate in long. Couldn't find that player. But guess what, boys? He kept it inside forward 50 when he was outnumbered 300-1.
Leongatha are very good at getting their numbers back, and they did that perfectly then.
Okay, forward 50. Vince comes through without the ball. Hits a body on the way through to lay some pressure. That pressure on Leongatha. They kick towards Ganane. Over the back of his head. Hopkins,
well done.
Clever little touch over the top. Ganane could have touched it again, but he kicks to the open space, and he's got a race. And winning that race looks to be Rennet at the moment. Can he get his hand on ball? No. Overrun it. This could be a walk-in goal. And is, if you don't mind. Cameron Stone says thank you. He rolls one in.
This is where Leongatha did that better than what Moe did. It was exactly the same sort of circumstance where they got the fast ball inside their 50, but they had enough pace there from Cameron Stone, and Lloyd showed some great dash as well. Got the ball to ground. Cameron Stone ran onto it, and a great first goal to Leongatha. So on the Harvey Norman scoreboard in the first quarter
of 2027,
it is Leongatha on our Harvey Norman scoreboard 1-1-7. They lead Moe just the 1 point.
Oh, it was great play and a really good battle between the two big blokes in Lloyd and Rennet. The foot race was on. So we've got the ball back to the middle now. Still the same midfielders for Leongatha and Moe. Borshman's with Blazer at the moment. Hand on that one was through Willis, running through the Marriott, kicks it high inside 50. Lloyd, Rennett's in the front spot, read it well, brings it to ground and got one over the shoulder. And he's such a good defender. He's always on the attack and just reading it nicely off the boot.
He read that really well then, Scott. He got himself in front then too, and Lloyd just went that really erratic spoil.
He showed a bit of pace in Renitz, and he's got a bit of bulk, but unfortunately the disposal let him down, and it fell in the aims of Stone, who again let himself down with that kick, and it's Coxedge who kicks from defensive 50, and that man again, White, puts on the afterburners, runs 15, and a pinpoint perfect pass finds his teammate in Tommy Long in the lead, and they desperately need to find the scoreboard after some nice forward moves, and most of them being set up by Spencer White.
Look, we know we're critical about him playing high, but he kicked that ball on the run at full tilt, and he's 6'4" or 5", hit it low. I don't know if Tommy Long's got the distance here.
I think he has. He'll kick this from right on 50. Here's a thumping kick of the footy, and he comes in now at the 10-minute mark, puts it on its way, and Boxer, you're spot on. He's pushed it across the face, hasn't got the distance. Ball now in dispute back there, all numbers. Skelling just blazed away, though. It might come back in the cloud attacks, but well done there. That was by Olden, nicely kick, and found Jack Hume. And Hume will just slow it up for the Parrots now across half-back. Numbers back favour Moe, so he goes short to Olden again. He's right on half-back flank. Now he goes inboard. There he is, that man in Dunn. He turns around and gets it to the far outside. Out there is Cooper and Sim. Cooper taps it to himself. Sim's trailing. Now he gathers, does Cooper. Brings it back inside 50. Moe are there. Good strong tackle on that one for Stone. And the free kick, well, he's going to go in the way of Fleming. And that one was going to be from Brodie Easton. The tackle was a little bit overzealous, but the kick from Fleming might be a turnover. Stanlake did well, just had to quickly get boot to ball and kick it out of bounds on the full.
Just Moe's exits are really letting them down at the moment. That's the third kick they've had intercepted or wasn't at their man.
So Leongatha bring the ball back in very quickly. First player there for Leongatha was Hume, but he overran it, and all should be beaten to the ball by the boundary. They are just 10 metres from Leongatha's goals, with the Parrots leading 1-1-7, Moe 1 point at the 11.5-minute mark of this first quarter.
Big moment for Monticello this afternoon. Great Northern Super Crisp 30 blocks at $46. Drink responsibly, of course.
Yes.
As this time, big tap out there was from Braganolo. Ball in dispute, but Stanlake attacked it with pace and strength. Won it, then kicked it out to the wing. There's no one out there, and he was looking for the boundary line. The umpire said that's okay. We'll have a boundary throw in. Right on the wing, centre wing that is, far side of this Morwell Rec Reserve, and a beautiful Saturday afternoon breeze just going across that direction of the ground from the grandstand side.
So Morrow and Wills fight hard from that boundary throw-in. A quick kick forward came off the boot of Leongatha. In fact,
it was Seppi.
This is dangerous, boys.
He's been very good. The kick long, one-on-one. White, front of the pack. No, out position and done so nicely. And the Leongatha pack of players hold the ball in. Numbers held that ball in beautifully. One of the players was Sandbrook. The other was Shelling, who tempted the punch and followed up with a tackle as well.
That's where he's very, very underrated, Skelling. His ability just to read the ball and get an arm in is fantastic.
So they're inside forward 50. The Lions trail by 6 points, but good handball. Marriott gave it to Sandbrook on the run. Gets to the defensive 50. Kicks it out high. Over the back again. There's Hopkins. Doesn't get the kind bounce. Fleming punched it away. Biffin tries to win it. Strong, heavy work there by Easton. They give the footy up. Davidson gave it to Cooper. He's got numbers on, and his poor kick. Well, his left foot kick didn't get over the top of Braganolo, who marks.
So Braganolo along the line right in front of our TRFM commentary position. The easiest of marks by Sandbrook. Gives ground, keeps possession, finds Sovereign, who'll change direction along the centre half back line. He does so nicely too to Baboon, who's got another option too. They've done this beautifully, haven't they? And it is Nagel, who from right half back goes towards right half forward. It falls down badly there, though, as Stanlake takes a mark. Guess what? He almost gave it up too. Marriott cut it off, but Moe have the numbers. They've turned it over again, boys.
That was good work by Moe. This is the way Leongatha like to spread it, and Moe were able to stop it at half forward. Even though they turned it over, I like the way they're thinking at the moment, but this one might be a different story as Forrester has got some open space. He's got a great leg and he hits up Hopkins. Just got in front of Braganolo on the lead.
I'm loving Hopkins' game at the moment. He's playing high, but what he's doing too is he's actually his ability to get his player under the ball, turn and run and get him on pace. This time he's done it again, but he's marked in front of Braganolo. He's probably his third opponent. He just keeps mixing and matching because of his pace and his awareness to know where the ball is.
He's only had the 2 kicks, Hopkins, in this first quarter for Gippsland Isuzu Ute, but he's been lively. And at the 14-minute mark, looks to extend Leongatha's lead, and he certainly does. He puts it straight through the middle.
Yeah, fantastic build-up, and there's just some signs then too. The turnover from Moe has to be worrying the coaches, the coaching staff of Moe at the moment, because their exits outside of their back line is probably their most frustrating part of it at the moment too. But a great goal there to Hopkins of Leongatha. So on our Harvey Norman scoreboard here, we've played 14 minutes, and it is Leongatha 2-1-13. They lead Moe just the 1 point.
So Moe at the moment have had a couple of opportunities themselves. Long, found himself short. And, of course, a kick for goal from directly in front.
I see what he's done there.
Missed also, sorry.
Long found himself short.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
The ball to be thrown back up now. It's a Morrow who got the tap down and did so nicely. Well done. They can't get it out of that centre, or can they? Wood tries to lay the tackle, but Olden gets rid of him, and they go forward now towards the left half forward flank. And good pace to win the race was Easton, who took the mark. Left half forward flank, or just short thereof. Threatens the forward 50 now. Hopkins was his target, but it wasn't the right one,
nope,
because it's going to be Biffin who took the easy mark. And from just on the fringe of defensive 50, you reckon, well, his option was short to Blazer.
So Blazer, right in front of the social rooms at Morwell Rec Reserve. The can bar, or the booth bar at Morwell is absolutely chockers this afternoon. It's a big crowd on a wonderful Saturday afternoon. They do trail the lines by 12. Ball comes to the wing. Skelling does well to win it, then chip it over the top with a neat little kick. Blazer came late, took out Davidson, won the footy, and then just kicked it high. And going back is the smallest man on the ground.
Good.
Great courage by Cooper. Great work by Long as well. Can they win the football, the Lions? Cooper's still down, and we're going to stop into the top of the 50.
And
it was
Long's
fair.
going for it.
Yeah, I think Long's just said enough's enough. He didn't do it unsportsmanlike. He was in the right spot, and there's a great bump with Cooper still down on the ground.
White quickly tapped it. There's going to be a free kick from the stoppage towards Leongatha's way, and that was courage by Kyle Cooper.
Absolutely.
It was great play all around, just what you'd expect. And at the end, though, Moe tried to get something out of that one. They just couldn't get it from the stoppage, and Big Ben Willis takes the free kicks. Free kicks in this first quarter is Moe with 3, Leongatha 1. That was their first free kick today for the Parrots. Mark so far pretty even, 17 to Leongatha and 16 to Moe. Inside 50s in the way of Moe, 3-1.
So Willis now, that free kick, don't think they'll take a short step after being hit hard. In fact, they usually respond twice as hard. Here's a man who's hard. Wood gives to Farrell, kicks it back to where it came. White's the target. He slipped right at the last minute and gave a free kick along the way. White sort of, just cursing himself as the player coming off after that hit, Kyle Cooper.
Well, he looks a bit proppy too now, does White. He just slipped at that crucial stage. The chip kick over the top might not come off. Here's Bernie Vince, can give it off to White, who gets it back to Seppi. He's at the top of the 50. Well, he turns back into trouble. His left foot, he only had one, and he was in all sorts. They cough it up. Leongatha stream forward, but Ben Willis gets it to Olden eventually. There's a free kick, though. The ball will come back, no advantage will be paid, and Ben Willis in the middle of the ground.
A bit of frustration kicking in for Moe at the moment. They just seem a little bit rattled.
Seppi turning back on that left foot.
No right foot.
He had to come this way at all the open space, but now Big Ben Willis drives it high. Ganane's the target. 2 Moe's fly. They defend well. Here's Seppi. Just fumbles it, took his eyes off the football. Has to go and win it. Now he sits on top of it, and he'll cause the stoppage. 18 minutes in. It is a 12-point margin in favour of Leongatha on the Harvey Norman's Computers Gippsland scoreboard.
So their first 15 minutes by Seppi, pretty good. The last couple of minutes, couple of rare mistakes. Morrow, after that ball up, gets a quick kick away. The runner, well, he had to avoid the ball because it was coming at him at 100 miles an hour, and eventually it finds itself over the boundary line, just as Prestige is going to get possession of the ball. So basically, grandstand centre wing, grandstand side, as I told you. There'll be a throw in, White and Willis, maybe Willis, but it was a 50-50 but this isn't 50-50. It's Zandbrook who picks up the ball, kicks long, forward 50, had a couple of targets, but there's a pack of players there, and you reckon the umpire will come in to lend a hand with Lachlan McLeod from Moe, the last player to get up with the ball in his hands.
Just looking at some key stats there from Paul Carter so far. Sandbrook looks to have 5 kicks, no handballs at this stage. And outside of that, Vaboon's got 3 and 1. That's for Gippsland Isuzu Ute as Pearce gets that clearing kick out of the back half for Moe. Comes to the wing area. Willis and White. White's up the high ground again. Swings around. Left foot kick in the board is beautiful. And it hits Bernie Vince. He can handball or kick over the top. Decides to kick. Ainsworth can get it in the centre square and can deliver it. Vince is down 2 boys in the square. He's been dumped after he got kicked it. And now Vaboon comes in. Flicks a handball out the back. They get a quick kick from Kelly. And now Leongatha might be away. Chris Dunn's the one on the far wing on his own. Vince is back up. Nice little neat kick back to Hopkins on the wing area. He's got him ball in Bowman. Goes that direction now. Has to stop, prop. He continues to switch. No, he wheels and goes. So left foot, spearing kick at the toes of Ganane. One hand, grabs it, swung around in a tackle. And that's from the Matty Pearce. And we have a ball up inside forward 50.
Great call, Scar. What you did miss then too when we were watching Vince down there, Nick Nagel's spoil there on Peter Ainsworth. He was going to hit up James Blazer inside 50, but Nagel was there to smother it.
It was too. A beautiful diving smother too. The ball inside forward 50. Vince tries to kick it off the ground. He was hit hard a few moments ago. And a little bit tentative on that approach to the ball, but now Zambrook, who's been busy from 55, kicks to the top of the square. But good numbers from Moe, and the player that reads it best was Biffin.
Well done.
Quick kick is marked nicely by Scotty Van Dyke. He sees the lead and goes towards that lead of Long.
Yep.
Who's up very high, half-back flank in fact, and he's got a runner to his right. He likes the look of Wood. Well, Wood took a short step and gave the free kick away, probably out of frustration as much as anything. And so the free kick will go Leongatha's way, and it will go the way of Skelling.
Now, Skelly went short to Sandbrook. We've got 21 minutes in this first quarter for the prelim final. 12 points still the margin. Chipped over the top to Hume. Hume's got Bowman at the top of the 50 if he wants him. He's trying to look further afield. Goes to that direction where Nagel is, and Bowman going back with a flight, but nicely read by Braganolo. And back into the side from last week's big win for the Lions as takes the mark at his defensive 50.
They're doing okay across half back. It's just when they get inside 50, they're butchering the ball.
Yeah, well, Long's high. He's got the mark at half back. Now, where's White? We look down the line. He might be having a spell at the moment. So this might have to be kicked on Farrell's head. So the umpire now calls into play in a long time.
Well, he's surrounded 4-1 here, Farrell.
And it's on top of Farrell's head. And, of course, the 4 will always win. And Sandbrook's the one who takes the mark.
He does, yeah. Came in from the right side of Farrell, took the easiest of marks. Farrell was bodying out 2 other Leongatha opponents. Play on's the call. Zambrook cool enough under pressure to dance around Farrell and then just kicked 55 to left half forward. Good attempt to mark there by Stone. Comes out the back. Nicely done by Biffin. Goes inboard. They've got a runner spare here, and off they go. They're going to go through Ainsworth.
Well, it was a poor kick because a big spoil from Westaway came in over the top. Now quickly picking it up there was Davidson. He goes back inside forward 50 for Leongatha. Going to ground there was Pearce. He's in a bit of strife now. He's got to get rid of it. The umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt. 22 and a half minutes gone. It's a 12-point margin. Leongatha lead it 2-1-13. Moe just the 1 minor score at this stage. And we've got a ball up inside forward 50 for Leongatha. Well read there by Marriott on the run, bursting through, and with a little bit of pressure, sprays it and out of bounds on the full. So we take a deep breath in this big game, the prelim final. Huge crowd building here at the Morwell Rec Reserve this afternoon on what is a glorious spring Saturday afternoon. And as you expect, pretty tight battle early, Poppy.
Yeah, I reckon Moe are just a goal off being happy with the first quarter effort.
Boxer, is the breeze favouring any end at this stage?
No, it's just going across the ground, just into that pocket where we call it the main gate end.
Hume takes a mark, plays on quickly, top of the squares, got a runner, got a good option there, and a nice little mark too it was by Sam Forrester, who goes short, quick kick, nicely done. Chrissy Dunn is on the end of it. Well, just when we said Moe need one for it to be appropriate, we got Chris Dunn who'll be kicking for goal now.
Any update on Kyle Cooper, Boxer?
Yeah, it looks like he's going, he's come off obviously the ground, but he's going up the race day too to be probably checked out a lot closer.
Well, that might be something you might not see externally. I've got a feeling that's
a ribs
something
or a shoulder
inside that's probably hurting at the moment. Like Tommy Long crunched him a couple of moments ago.
So Chris Dunn here on the slightest of angles, maybe 45 degrees. A kick for goal, and can they make it? No, across the face of goals for Chrissy Dunn. So another score. Boxer for the Parrots.
On the Harvey Norman scoreboard, and it is Leongatha 2-2-14. They lead Moe just the 1 point.
So Biffin has the kick-in duties for Moe this afternoon. Tight battle so far. Inside 50s. The last 5 inside 50s to Leongatha. They've had 16 to 6 in this first quarter. As the kick-in, that could nearly be reversed. Well, Morrow won it, gave it a quick handball off to Sepp. He's a left footer, got smothered by his own teammate. Easton does well, tries to handball to himself, and then Morrow pushes him over for a boundary throw-in. So the dominance of Leongatha inside 50s, 16 to 6. They've had the last 5, but have not put too much scoreboard pressure on.
So ball thrown back in, trying to read it off the back. I think could have been Sim, but it didn't find him anyway.
Just a case of knowing your player there too. When Morrow gave the handball to Seppi, he gave it to him on the outside for a left footer.
So Will gets a tap, can't get really much purchase on it. Spills out the back where one of the better players on the ground in Zandbrook gets another touch. Handball under pressure, more in hope, but it found his teammate in Borshman, and Borshman's kick to within metres of his goals comes off the knee of a Moe defender. That's the only reason I could imagine why it wasn't called out of play in the full, and there'll be a boundary throw in just a few metres from Parrott's goal line.
So if it's not Sandbrook or Baboon, it's now Sandbrook. Where's Jacob Wood at the moment? And there he is now picking him up.
Well, down inside the defending 50 for Moe. They work hard. Pearce was back there. Couldn't get a handle on it. Over the back there was Fleming. Handball to no one in particular. And again, we've got another boundary throw in. Another inside forward 50. The pressure just starts to build. These repeat entries for Leongatha. And they need to get a little bit of reward for effort. Can they get something from the stoppage? Ball comes back into play. Over the back it goes. Stone runs onto it. Doesn't take it cleanly. Biffin decides to just pinch it and then kick it out towards on the other side of the ground now. Heading out towards the netball court here at the rec reserve, and then pinged him for deliberate. Well, he went in that straight direction and it's gone deliberate out of bounds. So pumping it back in now was Hume. He's looking for his target in Lloyd in the front spot. Good spoil by Rennett. Well, kicking out of fresh air there was Seppi. And that left foot kick again goes towards the boundary. Well, it can't possibly be deliberate.
There's no way that was deliberate the first time. So I'm not going to...
That's why I was worried about the second one. So Willis will contest the ruck. He'll do it against White, or in fact Morrow. Willis got front position. In fact, the ball didn't reach either of the contesting ruckmen. At ground level, it's Blazer. Turns towards the boundary, which in this particular instance means safety because he's being chased down by the big man about right half forward flank for Leongatha. There'll be a boundary throw-in. Leongatha 2-2-14, Moe 1 behind. Nearly 27 minutes played first quarter. Free kick to be paid to Moe.
Yeah, just lower on the half-back line. I got quick around the ground checks for Harvey Norman Furniture. Eastern Range is a 4-3-27. And Gippsland Power at 2-4-16.
If I was the Moe coach now, it's Carl Sandbrook is the one that's really been damaging for Leongatha. It's time for maybe a Lachlan Rees to play a defensive role on him.
So the ball now with Zandbrook, the player spoke of in the contest, on the outer side of the ground. Outer side wing to be specific.
Sandbrook's had the 8 kicks and 1 handball to date, so 9 in this first quarter for Gippsland Isuzu Ute.
Yeah, he's repelled most of those forward entries by Moe, is it? We see one now from Leongatha, and that will fall in the hands of James Lloyd. He'll kick for goal with a boundary line on his inside left.
Yeah, this is one of the toughest kicks at Morwell.
Tough pocket.
So I haven't seen a bloke kick a goal here since Scud played.
Yeah.
Not that he kicked it, but he was on the ground when it was kicked. So Lloyd on the siren. No, it won't make the distance. It didn't have the accuracy. It won't impact the scoreboard, boys.
Yeah, quarter time. Leongatha lead it. They lead by 13 points as they had inside 50s in that quarter. They had 19 to 6. They managed 2 goals, 14 out of those 19 entries. Moe are 1 behind. It is quarter time for the prelim final. And it's all for Harvey Norman Electrical right here on TRFM.
Kennedy, Franklin, Brown and Lynch. They're all...
At the moment.
Yep.
And Leongatha's system standing the test that they've been confronted with.
So exactly how they stand
Yes,
now
that's
is
what they should be.
how
Yes.
they want it now. We've got the two
Take the
smalls
picture for
high.
the listeners.
Grady Coxedge at the top of the 50 with Harry Sim. Then about 40 metres out, you've got Farrell. And then about 15 metres out, that's where you've got White. In the goal squares, Tommy Long. That's where we need it in general play. They've got to trust their midfielders as we get the second quarter underway.
We do. Morrow maybe got a fingertip to that one. Busting his way through the pack was Morrow's teammate in Pearce. He couldn't take the ball. The pressure's on. Sims gives and goes. And at the end of it, Morrow goes off to Blazer. He just needs to kick long, and a good smother. Held on to it for a 15th of an inch second too long.
Vince was good.
Goes, takes a body with him, and then goes towards the outer side, where he finds his teammate in Ainsworth, just up from right half forward flank, kicks to the corridor. Sims out the back, tries to reel it in, but couldn't do so. And now busting his way through the pack nicely is Marriott that gives it, and then the boys go.
Yeah, Olden kicked it down towards Hume. He dropped the mark, but his recovery was good. Going to ground out there was his opponent in Braganolo. Hume picked it up, slung around in a Stanlake tackle, caused the turnover. Ainsworth has it for Moe. Over the top to McLeod. Got to get quick kick to ball to boot, and just did so. But it hit the boundary line and it landed just in the field of play. Boundary throw in.
What Moe did very well then was they had their two forwards deeper in the forward line, no one up high. The kick goes into Harry Sim, the smallest bloke in their forward line.
Well, you just got one. You need one to come up, the other one to stay. You're exactly right. Bowman from the stoppage gave it to Willis, who gave it to the run. Out there, low scrubbing kick towards Dunn. It's going to come off. Marriott did well. He just missed the handle on West away, and Blazer went bang with a tackle. Now Fleming barrels it inside forward 50. A wrestle. It dribbles. It might bounce through. It's going and going through. It's a massive kick. It went 70 metres on the hop, and in the end, it trickled through for a minor score.
And on the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard, it is Leongatha 2-2-14. They lead Moe just the 2 points.
Are they still hiring? The
They
ball
are.
now with Leongatha. Kick up the corridor through the defensive 50 to Kelly. Kelly comes grandstand
good
side.
kick.
Nice leg. Skelling takes the easiest of marks, and he does it in front of Van Dyke, and then kicks to the lead of the youngster in Hopkins. He's beaten the ball. Sims gets another touch, starting to have an impact. And now they threaten to forward 50 again. White came in high and made his Leongatha opponent earn it. And I speak of Baboon, who's just taking his time to get off the ground. Not sure what Nagel is doing, but he's probably better off not doing it because they've got the ball, and him having a go at White isn't going to help anything.
Well, he might give away 50 in a second.
Just let me tell you about Darryl did go for an interview at Greenham. I'll let you know later on.
Okay.
They chip it over the top. Baboon.
Some people pack heat. My friend Scud packs meat.
Kicks at the Cameron Stone, went inboard to Sam Brook. They've got one in the middle of the ground. Running on is Sovereign. Marks dead centre of the Morwell Rec Reserve. Do they continue the switch? No, they look that direction. They do now. And it goes out towards Dunn. He's high, half forward flank. He can run and draw. Decides not to handball, but kick. Inside forward 50. Ganane, too deep. Crashes the pack. Front and square was Blazer. Got one over the shoulder. Play on, said the umpire. Quick kick. There's no one back. It's all Leongatha. Sandbrook, but really well done there was Farrell. And he gathers it. He handballs out to the run of Ainsworth.
Give it to White.
He comes back in. They want to get it inside forward 50. Can they get the kick now? Farrell goes to White. Finally, they listen to your Poppy. They missed the target. And it goes over, boundary throw in.
But it's Poppy's frustration, same as mine. There was a kick before that when he had him one out on the overlap on the back. He would have been running into an open goal square.
So inside forward 50, that's important. They trail by 2 straight goals. 1 goal to Moe, and there is a goal in it, given that Leongatha have basically dominated. They kick out of defence now. Morrow tries to chase a slippery piece of soap, it looked like. He couldn't get a handle on it, and it will be all tied up at centre half forward. Moe into attack. They're kicking to the city end of the recreation reserve.
To go around the grounds in the North Gippsland Football League, thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture, and it's Yarram 2-2-14. They lead Churchill just the 1 point.
Jacob Wood from the clearance, got a handball out wide. McLeod's out there, ducks underneath one, then lost the footy, and it goes the other way. Bowman handballs over the top to Hume. He's half forward from 55, unloads. Hopkins and Biffin, it bounces. Hopkins keeps it in. Dunn's back there with Rennitz. Does well, the big fellow in Rennitz. Biffin got boot to ball, relieves some pressure. Is it going to get out? No, it's not, because Forrester will kick around his body. The pack will form. Biffin spoils. Front and square there was Braganolo, and Moe clear it this time.
Through defensive 50 to outer side. They've got a target they have. Their target is Ainsworth, who marks strongly with the boundary just inches to his left on the right half-forward flank. He'll now settle. He'll go inboard. He won't rush it. He's just trying to set something up from the half-back line through Braganolo.
Oh, it's coming back.
Who's going to spit this ball over to the opposition, and the easiest of marks to Olden. And you can't do that against a good side. They'll make you pay. Olden from just short of left half-forward flank. Kicks to left half-forward through, and the Parrots keep possession through Dunn.
So they lead by 12 points, 5-minute mark. And we've only had the 1 point kicked in this quarter to Moe. As Dunn now rolls around, tries to kick it inside forward 50. He does so. Hume's got a couple to beat. Morrow put one hand up. Front and square there was Vince. Quick little chip kick. Does it go 15? Well, it did, the umpire said, and found Fleming. He's right on the point of the square in his defensive 50, and Fleming just has to blaze it out.
Risky.
It's 2-on-1. Long's the one, and marked out there was Sovereign. And he'll go back, and actually there'll be a free kick. Kelly was pushed in the back. They've got lots of numbers back to Moe. As Kelly now goes to the shallow pocket where Lloyd presents, gets over the pack's head. Blazer helping there in the midfielder's position. Runs, handballs over the top. Can they get the spread? Braganolo to Biffin. He comes back inboard to Dylan Farrell. And he can mark. They're still under a little bit of pressure, the Lions' defence.
How good has Biffin been so far for the Lions? It's the best game I've seen him play in every game that we've caught against Moe so far.
Yeah, he's been good, and Blazer's starting to have an impact as well. He must be strong. He stands up in those tackles and backs himself. He's spat the ball out a few times now.
Blazers had the 3 touches in this quarter, taking him tally to 7.
So we're in the first 6 minutes of this quarter, so let's hope that this game doesn't get away from Moe. At least if you're a neutral fan, that is. The ball now in Leongatha's forward 50, under pressure. Kick for goal. It goes across the faces that stay in. No, Rennitz makes sure that it goes out. Just metres from Parrots' goals. Highway end, they're kicking. And there'll be a boundary throw in. The umpires come in 7 metres, I reckon. I'm not sure why. I don't think he's 11.
Well,
it's a first boarding 11-year-old. If it is.
I don't mind that, though. I like it.
Yeah?
It's in a good spot. It's,
but it's in a good spot. I'm not sure that it's in a good spot for Moe.
Well, it's away from the boundary line.
Yeah, true. Morrow tries to searching for a handball to McLeod. Goes back to Blazer. Can he find a teammate? He can't, but nicely picked up by Long. He's going to go over the top, which wasn't the right option because Blazer was beaten to it by Olden, and now it's going to be Davidson,
nice
who goes inboard with a beautiful leg. And they're on the move. They are through Forrester, who'll kick inside the centre square. He's got the lead on. He's got it short. He's got Hopkins.
Yeah, outside 50. Too far out to score, though.
This is the one they need to keep out if they can. Hopkins kicks long. I reckon Willis could be his target. He gets a quick touch at it. A kick off the ground is a lifesaver. And that's the man we spoke of a moment ago in bustling Tyler Biffin.
Fantastic play there by Biffin just to get that rush behind through. So on the Greater Greenham GIPPSLAND scoreboard, I'll just chuck a couple in.
Yeah, the great
Greenham, I don't know who cares.
Greenham GIPPSLAND. What do you mean?
Stop
who
it.
cares?
I
love
Greenham. I don't like you. Greenham scoreboard, it is Moe 2-3-15. They lead Moe just the 2 points.
There has been 3 more scores since that particular update.
Nagel kicked it into a Ghanaian. Forrester, handball out towards Lloyd. He's on the boundary line. Right foot kick goes across the face of goal. And another minor score on your Greenham GIPPSLAND scoreboard, your locally Aussie-owned processor. Solid jobs available now at Greenham Meatworks.
Yeah, thanks for that lead-in. Leongatha 2-4-16. They lead Moe 2 points. Don't be deflated. You just helped me out. Then I was all flustered from before.
I tell you right now, this Moe side are hanging in by their hair on their chinny chin. And Stanlake looks in front. We've got 36 players inside Moe's half of the ground, or close enough to, as Stanlake plays on from full back. Kicks long. Front position was Morrow. Couldn't take the ball ground level. They've got the players required, and a quick kick forward by Jaden Van Dyke was smothered off
Just a
the
free
boot.
kick to Ainsworth,
In fact,
holding
he'll
it.
get the free kick with Ainsworth. Just short of right half bank. The short leg is on, and it's taken nicely by the bloke that's been pretty busy in Seppi. Right half back flank with that left leg along the line. One-on-one contest. Farrell gets rid of Wills, but that spills out the bracken. Maybe best man on the ground at this stage. Zandbrook couldn't quite pick it up. Just had a little raise of the eyebrows to see what was around him and lost possession. But he took two and through Nagel now. They go forward. I tell you what, we said it was played between the arcs, and that's what's happening at the moment.
Is.
Farrell's quick kick forward. Guess what? Marked cut off again by Nagel, who is pretty happy with that.
Yep.
He's going to change direction now. Gives 35 metres. In fact, he's kicked it out of play.
Yep, he has.
He was on the arc of 50, ladies and gents, if you're not at the ground, and went to change direction, didn't quite hit the mark, and it's gone out of play in the full. In fact, out of play just 5 metres from Moe's goals.
Well, there a chance from this stoppage, from that errant kick, as Farrell tapped it straight down. Front and square there it was. Prestige, I think, or Ainsworth, got to the top of the square. White does well. White turns around and puts it through.
That's a Monticello moment.
It puts it through the Monticello moment point.
Wow, that was a fantastic build up there too. And on the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard, it is Leongatha 2-4-16. They still lead Moe just the 3 points.
5 metres out. That one needed to go through.
It did.
Westaway will bring it back into play for Leongatha. He brings it to the grandstand side. Verboon's the target and easily marks it. And they quickly play on. They try and get the run. Kelly had a don't argue. Stone was there. Handled across now. Back to Verboon. Nice little kick. Easton got thumped in that one, but they're up to the task. Bowman, don't argue on Ainsworth. Handball to no one. Rennett's had a fumble as well. Lloyd closes. Ball still in dispute. Hopkins says, I'll take it. Borshman fumbled. Pearce comes in hard. Seppi now handballed out. Braganolo couldn't get a handle on it. It's frantic in there. It's close. Now Braganolo boots it as they high towards the wing area. And coming through was Farrell. 2 bites was not good enough. Sandbrook delivered nicely to Davidson, who lowers the eyes. Ganane will mark under enormous pressure by Pearce. 40 metres out, directly in front. 11 minutes gone. Leongatha lead by 13. They're a chance to extend it again. Ganane gets up proppy.
Can someone pick up Sandbrook?
Well,
can someone pick him up?
Yeah, he's a half-backman at the moment.
He's killing them.
He has had, I can't see that one, he's had 9 in the first quarter, and you can add another 3 to that as well. Boxer?
Those three, though, have hurt Moe every time.
12 touches. 12 touches on the half-back line in a quarter and a half of footy.
Well, Ganane comes in. He is directly in front. He's kicked 22 goals for the year, Jack Ganane. In the prelim final, looking for his first. It just holds up in the breeze and, well, it floats away to the left. And that is a minor score. Greenham Gippsland scoreboard this afternoon.
Leongatha 2-4-16. Moe just the 3 points.
So Tommy Fleming to bring the ball back into play. And let's see if he can find a few gaps. At the moment, interestingly enough, Moe have only got 4 plays inside defensive 50. So the obvious thing is that they're going to play on and go long. They've done that. Farrell's the target. Again, he gets hands. Again, he can't mark. Coming through nicely, but not getting a clean possession away was Van Dyke. Vince, a clever kick off the ground to his teammate who couldn't bust through the pack. And I speak of Braganolo. So there'll be a ball up inside Leongatha's forward 50. They're 45 from home on a 45-degree angle. Kicking to the highway end and leading, as you heard, by 13 points.
Hopkins.
Halfway through the second quarter.
Hopkins took the ruck duties there.
And did he win it?
Yeah, he did. He actually got a handle on it.
Good work by him. He's around the pack, working hard too. It spills out. Oh, backing himself in was Fleming. He found himself under a bit of bother, though.
Oh, quick on the whistle, too.
Yeah, and they will ball this up again. They've edged closer, have Leongatha. They're within 40 metres of goals on a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, 13 minutes gone. 14 points is the margin in favour of Leongatha. Although they've had all the play, it's been all inside forward 50s. 9-4 this quarter. But again, they're not really damaging on the scoreboard, are they, Box?
No, they're not. And just a quick update on Cooper. He hasn't come out of the rooms as well, too. So there's a little bit of concern there.
Well, as we said, it'll be some sort of internal injury. He got crunched by Tommy Long coming out in a fair leading, sort of going back with a flight of the ball.
And on a warmish day, rotations may play a part late in the game because the heat in the game is pretty high.
Yep, tap down there from Morrow. Trying to win it there was Fleming. Shuffled out a handball back to Morrow, who quickly gets ball to boot. but it might come back. Westaway got it in his hands and then kicked it high. Hopkins will fly. Lloyd will be 5 deep. Crashes the pack. Ball in dispute at ground level. Working hard there. Looks to be a Leongatha player on the bottom of that pack in Sandbrook. Now, has he rolled forward or is it just the weight of numbers has got him now inside forward 50? Boxer?
Yeah, I'm not too sure there, but tell me what you do notice different today with Luke Bowman.
Luke Bowman doesn't have the long sleeves on this afternoon, and he might be freshly shaven as well. 14 and a half minutes gone. Ball now top of 50, top of the square there. Driven into the ground was Chrissy Dunn.
There you go. There's that rule. There's that dive across the leg rule, and that could have actually gone the other way. The umpire didn't pay anything.
Well, there's a stoppage in play. The umpire's just waiting to see who the ruckman are. Bernie Vince actually put his hand up and may do the ruck work here. Well, no one actually takes it. Lloyd tapped it straight down. Blazer had his kick smothered. Goes again with a kick. And Cox said, nice one-handed mark. Still inside his defensive 50 though, Poppy.
Yeah, he is. Cox Edge only needed the one hand then. Marked nicely under pressure towards right half back flank. Farrell. Got a little bit of room to move and off they go again. They do it through the young fella in Van Dyke, is it? Or Seppi? Seppi kicks towards
the bounce of the ball.
The bounce of the ball beat White. And now Leongatha will ease the pressure. They've got a bit of player on the overlap here. And the player is Ganane, who's got time from right half forward. It's a sloppy kick.
Oh, it might work out.
Might find its way home because in the end of it, he's going to be Chris Dunn, who kicks across the face of goals again.
And on the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard, it is Leongatha. I can't do three things at once. 2-4-16. Oh, 2-5-17 to 3 points to Moe.
2-6.
Well, they're a bit slow. They're a bit slow there on the scoreboard.
We have a 2-6-18. Moe 3 behind. As Fleming plays on, gains himself 15, kicks it high out towards the grandstand side. Farrell got underneath it, gets to the back at Ainsworth. Right in front, Lachlan Sim gets he thought he'd get a handball. He's done that many times on this Morwell Rec Reserve in his time. Puts it down for the boundary umpire.
They've got a few players that are flat, Moe, at the moment, haven't they? There's a lot of players there that really we expect a lot more of. Is that 1 day less break going to make a difference?
No, I wouldn't have thought so. As Blazer tried to crash his way through, got a handball to Morrow, just one-handed there and wrapped up. He flicked it out the back to Wood. He's under pressure now, Wood. He's been tackled by 2 Parrots, make it 3. And 16 and a half minutes, second quarter. 2-5-17, 3 behinds, Moe. As Hopkins got slung to ground, Cox Edge dumped him. And they're going to just hold it up and say my ball again, the umpire.
The old throw didn't go too well then, did it, Popstar?
Bit of feeling around the ball too at the moment. I reckon we're going to see a couple of heavy clashes in a moment. Blazer's taken high, It was a slight.
Does it well.
And Willis let him know that maybe it wasn't quite as obvious as what he made it. Goes short, inboard, Woods the player. This is where they've been breaking down, not finding a winner here. White's got the right spot, gets rid of his man, needs a favourable bounce, doesn't get that bounce, gets back on his left leg or tries to.
Wow.
Now he gets it. He can kick the
good
goal.
Smother.
I reckon that's the 5th smother this afternoon.
Westaway.
It was Westaway that come off the boot, and now Leongatha through sheer desperation.
Borshman.
White came through, Borshman's head's rolling around centre half forward.
There's Cooper.
And the Leongatha ball goes over the boundary line. And it was Cooper again, was it, that got hit high?
Back out.
Well, he's back out, and I tell you what, he had a hit to the hip earlier, and he nearly lost his head. I'm serious.
Yep, it was great. It's great to see him back out there.
Yeah, at one stage there was 3 players chasing what they thought was the ball. It was Cooper's head. They changed direction and chased the ball that's now towards the outer side of the ground where Cox Edge kicks to centre half forward. They need someone ground level. They've got someone ground level, but they can't find enough room to move, and it's Jaden Van Dyke, I reckon, that was taking ball and all to the ground.
It's quarter time in the North Gippsland League grand final, thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture, and it's Yarram 3-2-20. They lead Churchill 1-3-9.
Well, Morrow feeds it off quickly to Woods. Here we go. Kick for goal from Woods from 45.
There it is.
The first of the afternoon. Oh, Woods got one for his Lions, and they edged to within a couple of goals.
And on the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard, it is Leongatha 2-6-18. They lead Moe 1-3-9.
Yeah, great goal there by Jacob Woody. He was that tunnel rat sort of specialist that Poppy said in our pre-game show. He wanted the spark. He's been playing in the midfield, but the old veteran, it's the first time he's played in a prelim final. He's been at the club for 10 years, and this is the first time, the furthest he's got as a player. So great reward and he's trying to lift his side at the 18.5-minute mark of this second quarter. As Willis and Morrow go at it again. Willis tapped it straight down to Marriott. It comes out to Bowman. Quick kick towards the top of the 50. Easton's there with Wood. Biffin thumps it forward. Gains 15 metres. There is Wood again. He gets a handball out. He's starting to work into it nicely. Coxheads leaves the path for Ainsworth, who was tackled by his opponent, and will have a ball up. 19 minutes gone, second quarter. The much-needed goal that Moe needed.
How good Spencer White at ground level as well. It's the third time today he's picked up his own ball.
Quick kick there from the stoppage, goes in the Sandbrook direction, and Jaden Van Dyke. Great work by Tommy Long. Drives it inside. It's all one-on-ones. There's two forwards, two defenders, and Chris Baboon, another intercept mark down back. Strong and then gutsy as you like.
Oh, bang, that's reportable.
Centre half back. He hit up Borshman. No 50, no report, all fair. Borshman took the strong mark.
Jeez, I reckon he almost tunnelled in then. I don't know that he went the ball, but anyway, I like the bloke, and I'm glad the umpire saw it the way he saw it. As the game goes on, Morrow feeds it off. They have the intensity's there, and they do it through Biffin, who kicks to the lead of White just through the hands. Boxer in the background saying his arms were chopped. The umpire says no, and Sandbrook tries to get the Parrots out of trouble. They do. They're inside defensive 50, but now they've got the runners.
Yeah, Sovereign kicked it out, but it's going to come back. Coxhead dropped the mark. Quick kick, though, there was from Moe. They got it back to the top of their 50, and marking it strongly out there looks to be Easton. Right on his defensive back pocket. Back into the side after a long injury. His kick, though, at the toes of Skelling. Got around one tackler in Ainsworth. Back to Easton. Now Biffin got him. It's going to come back. Left foot kick goes high from Fleming. They let it drop. Van Dyke. It might work out. Prestige got ran down in a tackle. Marriott was there to sweep it up for the Parrots, and they're going to relieve the pressure again through Baboon, but he'll turn over the kick. Wood, he's hustling. He's got one. He gets around one tackler. Can't get the handball away. Cooper, well, he handballs to himself in the end, and it might come off, and it does. Beautiful play by the Parrots, and then Cooper spots up. Well, he did find Hopkins, who spoiled from Rennet. Parrots are good, and not quite in the field of play. And Bowman, the cleanly shaven, no long sleeve jumper. And we have a boundary throw in on the wing. 21 minutes gone. Margin 9 points in favour of Leongatha. Moe have lifted, though.
Okay, Ben Willis needs to lift his side back. He gets position, can't get touch. Nicely done too, though, at the end of the day by Olden. It works itself towards half-forward flank. Olden, quick kick. One-on-one, front possession, Moe. Nicely taken by Braganolo, who might want to move this ball quickly because that's when they look most dangerous. Leongatha have settled in front of the ball, though. So he's unsure as to where he might go.
He had the option to come quickly, but he sort of waved it away. And in the end, he goes to the far side. It's one-on-one, and then falling down was Ainsworth. Marriott handballs over the top to Stone. He's going to get run down from behind in a Hayden Prestige tackle, holding the ball. The Lions have lifted in late in this second quarter as they needed to.
They definitely have, and we've seen this pace from this young fella before.
They've got to move it quickly here. They've got the option. Go, Charlie.
And he's using it well, that pace.
They've got the overlap, haven't they?
I mean, we can 3-on-2.
We can see it from here, but you've just got to have a quick check of your numbers. It was 3-on-2.
And trust yourself.
Yep, and now they go down the line, and they're going to get a free kick, Leongatha. It's going to come back inside forward 50.
So from left half forward flank, as you heard Scud say, they're going to go inside forward 50 through Borshman.
A big Willis has got deep.
So Borshman kicks. It's a 2-on-1 contest here. I thought they should have had it. They didn't. Lucky there. Moe, can they get themselves out of trouble? Vince is going to be first player there. In trouble. Gives it up. Quick kick forward is by Olden. And it finds the boundary. So both teams have got a chance to reset here.
What's that, boys? Is it just a lack of confidence by not hitting that kick early, that the 3-on-2 was there? Just to go the easy kick? Why don't they want to go there?
I don't understand. Rennet, would you think, with his experience, would have got that off straight away?
And Braganolo's a lovely kick. So two guys that had the footy in their hands decide to kick it down the line. They get a quick rush kick out.
And again by Long. He's got rid of one. He says, let me have two.
Well, that was Forrester on the end of that. Borshman now drives it in. Hot spot it goes. Hopkins at the back can't fly. Chris Dunn snaps around the body. He's usually good at these. He's pushed it away. It's another minor score. They're peppering again, Boxer.
Yes, and that's on the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard. It's Leongatha 2-7-19. They lead Moe 1-3-9.
Well, Tommy Long's letting players around him know he's there, and I like this
I
from
don't
Moe.
mind it. I don't
like
mind
it from Moe.
I think it's great, and he's done it all in fair and it's all in play as well. So
Forrester still in the hands of the trainers, hands above his head, sucking the deep ones in.
he'll think it's night time at the moment, wouldn't he? He's
I
seeing
would've.
stars everywhere.
Well, that's what Cooper just told him. As Braganolo has it, about 45 away from his defensive goal, kicks it high out wide. Working nice little handball over the top. They've got the run. Seppi, this time he's at the go on the left foot. Short kick to White. He's a long, long way.
Turn and go. Turn and go.
No one to go.
Work.
No one inside 50. Turns
Farrell.
now. It's a wobbly sort of mongrel punt. Does it come off? Farrell's there. Gets a handball away, but picked off. Ricochets off a Leongatha defender, but they got all the numbers. Cooper gave it across now to Nagel, who can get it back to Olden, now to Cooper, and the numbers favour Leongatha, and they find Forrester, who got crunched a moment ago, and now presents at half-back for Leongatha, who squares it inboard, and they take the risk, and it might come off, and it does. Sandbrook, and there should be...
Well, there's the 50, I would have thought.
Well, Sim put him down, and he was lucky that they didn't take the advantage. And Sandbrook went after Big Farrell as well.
There was a bit said last week between both those two players, so there must be no love lost there too. Ex-teammates too, I would just imagine too.
Well, out the switch kick, Westaway on White. Westaway puts it behind him, goes to ground. White hurdles him.
Look
now
at that.
picks up the football. Scrubby little kick inboard. Seppi didn't quite have it, and the free kick will be paid. 25 minutes gone, 10-point margin.
Scud, do you agree now? Those small forwards, with the lack of small forward that Moe had, they would have been a lot more dangerous if they had them inside 50.
Yeah, I agree.
Right half forward flank, the ball goes out of play. There'll be a boundary throw in. The scoreboard says this, 2-6-18, Leongatha, Moe 1-3-9. 9 points the margin, 25 and 3/4 minutes played.
We reckon it's 2-7-2, Poppy.
2-7, we'll check that at the half time. So if you're at the ground, it may in fact be 2-7 rather than 2-6 as the scoreboard says. A quick kick forward goes from Easton, and there will be a ball up or boundary throw in. Must be close.
A bit going on out there as well.
Do you reckon both those boys that have been hit by those long bumps both sound like Paul Carter at the moment?
Yeah, probably.
There'd be a fair chance.
Paul Carter's with us, not talking this afternoon though.
No, he's lost his voice.
He's cracked the shines now.
He's got the sads.
Marriott from the stoppage, got his boot to ball just. Top of the 50 it goes. Reese with the first one there. Great work by Hume.
Nice.
Won it. He didn't have the handball. He had to kick around his body in the end. And reading it, Tommy Fleming.
I tell you what, Rennett's hit
That's
him
better.
on the flush as well.
Another one down.
So Jack Hume's taking his time to get back up, and why wouldn't you after Rennett's got hold of you? It's grandstand side, and it's Ainsworth who takes the mark. Nice, he had Farrell there as an option. Who's got another short option?
Yes.
And yes, taken nicely. And it's Jaden Van Dyke. He'll kick from just on the 50-metre arc, but he's directly in front.
Do really like Peter Ainsworth's hit-up game today. He's been leading up, giving him that option. He's really worked hard today.
So there's a couple of sore players from Leongatha. This player's going to find his way off the ground, Jack Hume. It was all fair as the kick now from
He hasn't kicked a goal this year.
Jaden Van Dyke
And that's probably why.
is poor.
That was yuck.
Out
Out
of
of play
bounds
on
on the full. So Christopher Boone, he's had a big quarter for Gippsland Isuzu Ute. He's had 5 kicks and 1 handball, 6 touches for the quarter. As Verboon has it deep in his defensive pocket, they lead by 10 points. It's been a bit of an arm wrestler game between the two 50s. Inside 50s this quarter, 15-11. As Verboon kicks it out, Morrow and Willis direction, front and square there was Cooper. Handballs out in the run of Stone. Overran it, siren goes, and Cooper, well, he did well then. He had a slung Reese to ground on the siren. There could have been a little bit of niggle going into the halftime break, but he wasn't. He held him up. And, well, it was a 13-point margin at quarter time. We now have a 10-point margin in favour of Leongatha. It's low scoring, it's tough, it's physical. There have been some bone-crunching bumps, mainly Moe dishing them out, but they trail by 10 points. We've got Leongatha 2 goals, 7-19, who lead Moe 1-3-9 at half-time. You're listening to Gippsland Live, right here on TRFM, right across Gippsland and the Valley, and we do it for Harvey Norman Electrical. Fantastic deals, incredible range. You can rush in store today.
Kate, Tim and Marty. I could go home now if you like.
that they're 50 at half time. So one of their KPIs is indicating they're on the way to a win, but at the moment that isn't reflected so much on the scoreboard.
No, you're exactly right. It's only a 10-point margin. As the third quarter is about to get underway, again it will be Big Willis and Morrow, and Willis got a clear hand on it. Blaze was there though, they got boot to ball from that clearance. Sandbrook leads the charge, keeps it in front of him. Nicely done there from Davidson of Leongatha. Kicks to centre half forward. Nagel put one hand up. Lloyd tried to get front and square. Now he goes back to get it, does Nagel. And the Lions jump on him.
I think the Moe camp's been listening to the broadcast because they've got a tag on Sandbrook now. It looks like Jaden Van Dyke is running with him.
Yeah, fair enough. That's a good matchup too, I think. As front spot there was Willis again. Seppi at the ground level. Toe pokes it. Stanlake tried to run and crash. Took him on. And then the big don't argue there from Olden. Kicks around his body into the pocket. Dunn will let it bounce. It gets over the back, and spoiling it there was Fleming for a boundary throw-in.
Sorry, Scud. The umpire's 5 metres away from the contest, and he's buried his hand straight into his throat and not caught a free
so
kick.
The Olden don't argue you thought was high.
Absolutely.
All right, ball thrown back in. Willis another tap forward into the danger zone. Fed off nicely. It is a dream start through Tommy Marriott, who kicks his first, importantly, his club's third in the opening minutes, third quarter.
And on the Gippsland McDonald's scoreboard, it is Leongatha 3-7. Is it? Yeah, 3-7. My God, I nearly got that one right. 25 to Moe 139.
How was the tap, boy,
Fantastic.
from Willis over the back? It landed in the hands of Hopkins, who gave a slick handball. And Marriott, well, he doesn't miss those. That was beautiful done by the ruckman in Willis.
Bit too easy. Bit too easy if you're a Moe defender out there.
They're the good ones you get. The stoppages inside 50 from goals. So Willis again starting to assert his authority in the middle of the ground, but Morrow this time got a hand on it. Seppi, left foot kick around the body. Front there was Jaden Van Dyke. Brought it to ground. Here's Wood. Gave it to Sim. 49 metres low as the eyes hits White. No. Drops it. Great work by Skelling. Gave it back straight to Sim though. And Sim kicks it and puts it through the middle.
Nice.
Great response. It's within a minute. Harry Sim gets his first.
And on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard, it is Leongatha 3-7-25. Moe 2-3-15.
What do you think of that one, Box?
That was fantastic play there by Harry Sim. This is the sort of stuff I wanted to see from Harry Sim. Just that front and centre, get to the ball, drop of the ball, a mark that Spencer White should have marked, but he did follow up and got the rebound ball and got that beautiful goal. A great answer there from the Marriott goal earlier.
And for Sim, it was instinctive. He did what first come to his mind. He didn't hold it too long. He went searching for White. White dropped what he should have taken, but again, instinctively, he followed it up. And now they've got the tackle on.
Oh, and they've paid hold the foot.
They should have paid that one.
Oh.
So Seppi gets another touch. He's been good. He's got the leading teammate there in Scotty Van Dyke from 65. Runs to his left and then arcs onto his right foot. This is dangerous. Out the back, White got hands to it. Leongatha have got the numbers, but now they're going to be in a spot of bother. I tell you what, the umpire was very quick to blowing a ball up there when it was obvious the Leongatha defender didn't really want to spit the ball out at all. 10 metres out from Moe's goals. Leongatha under pressure after opening with the opening goal of this quarter. Quick kick by Verboon. Finds a teammate in Davidson, Brock Davidson. Defensive 50 on the right side. Kicking to the left to radio are the Parrots. Goes along the line. Can he find a teammate? All taken out of it, I thought, but fairly says the umpire was a Moe player, and now Leongatha have got the run. They go long and strong through Lloyd, who probably lost a handle on it, and now all of a sudden Morrow, well, he went backwards in an attempt for his side to go forwards, but it was a handball in hope than any real method, and now he finds his team under pressure again. Around the ball, Hopkins is outnumbered 2-1. A little bit of tunnel ball.
Well done.
Feeds off nicely. A kick to the top of the square. Moe have got the numbers, but not at ground level where Ganane is the first player there. Left foot kick. Looks for Hopkins. He dropped possibly what he should have taken, but it was a good spoil. A kick around the corner, and Ganane might get another chance. But Stanlake applies good pressure, and now from defence, Moe ease, but only momentarily.
Yeah, Fleming got the kick out towards the wing area, but Leongatha got the numbers. Good shepherd by Willis. Allows Baboon to left foot delivery, and it gets over the top. No, it doesn't get over the top of Mitch Stanlake. He put one hand up and he plucked it, and now he's inside 45 kick spot on, and it found Scott Van Dyke.
Got to go.
He does go to the far side. Running off half back there was Biffin. He lets it bounce. Now he's got Nagel to beat. Nagel keeps his feet. He's ripped off the football, Nagel.
Play on. I thought he did to him what Nagel did likewise. So, anyway.
He's kicked it back in, but it's going to come straight back out again from the Leongatha kick as Braganolo won it and then chips it over the top.
Boys.
This is turnover galore. And the umpire will find a free kick, will go Moe's way, and they're lucky there.
It was a lucky free kick. Just that switch before as well. Just gave the ball too much air. Didn't give Biffin the opportunity to run onto it the way he wanted to.
So half back there is James Blazer. He chips one over the top. They just want to hold onto it a little bit now to Moe. They trail by 10 points. Seppi has it. He's been busy. Little neat kick to Tommy Long, who's presented. Quick hands off to Vince. Vince's helicopter kick at the toes of White. Numbers favour Leongatha. Kelly to Skelling, who can chip it out wide to Nagel. He holds it up. No one's ahead. Dunn will present. Now Lloyd goes. He decides to go lateral to Westaway, who's got some space. Run, carry, kick on top of Lloyd's head. Leaves it for Hopkins. He can turn around and take his time and put it through from 45 metres out.
And Bernie Vince needed to make more of that kick in a forward 50 looking for White.
But I think what happened there too, the umpire got in his way, got to his space, and he just had to pull back on that kick.
So Hopkins, slight angle. 6 minutes in. We've got 1 goal apiece. The margin's still at 10 points. Hopkins puts it on its way, and he's pulled it. It is a minor score on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. Boxer.
It's Leongatha 3-8-26 to Moe 2-3-15.
I tell you what, I'm not sure that Leongatha have had such low-scoring, inaccurate days all of this year.
You're exactly right. They are a very efficient team as Biffin plays on, then kicks it to no one, and Lloyd says, well, look at the numbers inside 50. They've just got to get it there. They can't. Lloyd, he took his time. Now he chips it over the top. Well, eventually it's going to work out.
Easy.
Jack Ganane, there was open spaces everywhere from that poor kick.
That's crap from Moe.
Well,
I'm not sure what they're thinking.
Well, the first 7 minutes of this quarter, they would have turned the ball over 6 times coming out of the defensive 50.
Crazy.
I'm a big believer of that is the most important kick in football. You're exiting outside 50.
Absolutely.
Because if it usually turns over, it comes back with interest. Can Jack Ganane put 6 on the board for the Parrots? Will roll to 48, starts at left, brings it back and squeezes it home. Jack Ganane, well, he's been a great goal scorer for him throughout the year. He gets one today. That adds to his 22 for the year.
It's great to see him doing what he's doing right now because we know he's a renowned goal kicker, but what goes underrated is the fact that he's a great hard ball get inside 50, so he really works hard inside 50. He's rewarded himself with a great goal there to Leongatha, and just get that breathing space they do need as well. And on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard, it is now Leongatha 4-8-32. They lead Moe 2-3-15.
Australia's most popular Bristol-made coffee, only at McCafe. As the ball goes up again, Willis tapped it down. Leongatha starting to get a little bit of run from the middle. Marriott was there as well. Couldn't do any further with the football, so we'll have a secondary stoppage. Big moments brought to you by Monticello's this afternoon. Carlton Dry, Stubbies and cans at $45 and Gordon's Gin at 700 mils, $33. Drink responsibly, of course.
So the ball thumped forward by Willis. But Moe through Braganolo will come grandstand side. Coxedge led to the ball. In fact, Scotty Van Dyke it is. Got a couple of options. He's desperate to go inside, but forced to go along the line where White will compete against 3. And guess what? He gets the ball, but this is where he needs to go. He goes, and the leg looks good, but it's going to go out the back, you'd think. No. Nicely coming in was Stone, who added some numbers to the ball.
Well done, Westaway.
Was good, but Westaway was better, and a kick off the ground falls a centimetre inside the boundary line, and there'll be a boundary throw in.
Kick the touch, that one.
Was that deliberate?
No.
We had one over there. Boundary throw in. They get good numbers back, Leongatha. They support their back 6 very, very nicely. Big tap by Willis, but Jacob Wood ran onto it. It was Stanlake. Well, he ducked his head and he was lucky. He fumbled, ducked his head and caught one high. 9.5 minutes in. A big moment right now, you sense. It's 17 points.
Gee, that would have been a risky kick too.
Yeah. Well, he kicked it in ball and the umpire said, let's do this again.
Yeah, look, it's only 17 points, but the fact is they've only scored 15 in over half a game of footy.
We've got a close one in the North Gippsland Football League Grand Final. Yarram 5-5-35, Churchill 5-3-33.
Stanlake kicks down the line. Jaden Van Dyke presents some marks on his chest.
Got to go quickly though. Farrell and White are one-on-one down there.
Is it too far for him? Now they present Skelling and White. So's Baboon back there. No one can mark it. Ground level there was Kelly. Quick clearing torpedo kick. And if you play in front, well, you generally do well. And Davidson did that. Marked it half back and then got it to Lloyd in front of Rennitz. And Lloyd turns and goes, and that's what we want. Out into open space. Jack Hume and Biffin with a double fist punch. Clears the area. Running onto it, Fleming. They get to the outside. Going back there was Ainsworth. So is White. And the numbers favour Leongatha. Good work by White to work his player off at the 1-2 handball. White with a flying shot at goal. Has missed it. Minor score, McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
And it is now Leongatha 4-8-32 to Moe 2-4-16.
Ball back into play. They look a lot better when they move the ball quick to Moe, and White looks dangerous when he's got some room to run into, and he had a little bit of that today. Ball on the outer side of the ground. Wood, one of the smallest men on the ground.
Chris Baboon.
As Chris Baboon takes a good, strong mark, right half-back flank. Play on's the call. He's forced to kick the ball around the body. It'll find a teammate, and off they go again through Kelly. Along the line again. It's going to find the boundary, you'd think. Yeah, it does. Just short of right half-forward flank. Leongatha kicking to the left of radio. We've played 11 minutes of this third quarter. Preliminary final day. The winner lives to fight another day against Maffra next week at Traralgon. The loser, their season ends in just over 40 minutes from now.
Blazer.
Moe through Blazer. Off they go. Left half forward flank, Scud.
Well, good work. Got down towards Farrell, who ripped his opponent off it. Free kick. And we'll have a free kick going towards Leongatha's way. Chris Baboon is the one. Comes inboard on the 45 to Kyle Cooper, who can continue the trend. Down the line he goes. And that's the line of the square to Olden. Now they look inboard. They just look so much better when they move it forward. Forrester's there going back with a flight. Braganolo comes off his man and marks at top of the 50. He's got called to play on, so he comes to the grandstand side. It's a wobbly kick, missed the target, and it'll bounce just in the field of play. Boundary throw in. 12 minutes gone. And a McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard sees Leongatha 4-8-32, Moe 2-4-16. That's 16 points in favour of the Parrots.
Well, Moe, you've still got a surge or two left in them, but they have to make the most of every opportunity they get at the moment, because Leongatha won't give them too many. Working the ball along the line nicely. There was Lachlan McLeod. 2, 3, 4 taps in front of him before it just trickled over the boundary line in front of our TRFM commentary position.
It's half-time in the North Gippsland Football League, and it's Yarram 5-6-36, Churchill 5-4-34.
Morrow v. Willis, right half forward flank. Moe into attack. Wood lost sight of it. And around the corner was Seppi. Seppi almost busted forward 50. This has to be a goal. 9 times out of 10 it would be, because Vince had a little bit of room to move, but he kicked out of bounds on the full to the right side of the goals, just underneath the scoreboard that reads Leongatha leading by 16.
Yeah, Vince's kick obviously landed over the field of play, but Leongatha president Mel Mackey took the mark. Very nicely done. So as the Leongatha go forward again, he'll claim this goal if they get on the end of this one, the Parrots. Stone delivers nicely to Dunn. He's got Hopkins on. It's 1-on-1. Hume darts back to the grandstand side, but Dunn's kick, well, he led in that direction towards the social rooms, decided to kick it to the goal square, and Braganolo took the easiest of marks, got it out to Prestige, goes backwards to Pearce. His kick high outside 50. Sim was in the front spot, but big spoil. Got the football back in for Leongatha. They go to ground out there. It squirts out the back to the football. Fleming now had it. Kicked it along the wing area. Missed Big Farrell. Was able to lope and run after it. Did he step out of field of play? I think he did. And we'll have a boundary throw in. 13, make it 14 minutes gone. 16-point margin.
They can get those exits right, Moe. They're back in the game, but you can just see Leongatha a lot better with the ball going inside 50.
Out of side of the ground, they need to be better right now, but Willis stood the test. His kick was smothered, but gains valuable metres as now Leongatha again, who just looks smoother going into forward 50. Find Lloyd outside 50. Kick towards Stone. Stone dropped what he should have taken. A quick kick off the pack by Nagel towards goals.
Dunn.
They've got all the time in the world, and Dunn kicks around the body. And that's the biggest margin of the afternoon, ladies and gents. Leongatha get another on the board.
And that's what happens when you bring the ball inside 50 really quickly. The Moe defence has really worked hard, and I think they've just had another big counter punch then too, because their exits have seen the ball being turned over, ball comes back inside, the quick kick inside to Dunn, bounce in his favour, experience heads, always counts, and a great goal there to Leongatha. And on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard, it is now Leongatha 5-8-38. They lead Moe 2-4-16.
Yes, great work there, Poppy. And, they've kicked 3 goals to 1 in this quarter as well. As really looking ominous now are the Parrots. Willis and Morrow. And Willis tapped it down. Seppi's working hard for Gippsland Isuzu Ute this afternoon. Kicked it off the ground, long presented, gave it back. Now to McLeod. He come back on the right foot, got smothered. Borshman now grabbed it for Leongatha. Out to Easton. Good spoil, though, by Pearce. Runs away from Nagel. Happy to see the boundary line was Pearce.
They must kick the next goal. They must kick the next goal.
Absolutely. Big moments for Monticello's right now for this Lion side. Ballantyne's Scotch 700ml, $32. As the ball will come back in, clears the 2 ruckman. Coxedge gave it across to Vince. Vince, his kick was smothered. Morrow put a big, strong tackle on the Leongatha midfielder. And that one was Nagel, who's rolled up now to this contest. Stoppage is on half forward flank for Moe. As Poppy just said, must get the next goal. 22 points is the margin, but they've only kicked 16 for the game as we get closer to 3/4 time. Morrow tapped it down. Quick kick there was from Olden, who cleared the stoppage area and found touch again.
So it's sort of just taking a backward step this game just at the minute.
Is the pressure that good that we're missing too many targets? Is that the reason? It's our turnovers?
The conditions are close enough to perfect.
Yeah, I just think it's just a little bit of confidence. I think once you do it once and twice and third time, it just keeps snowballing from there.
Quick kick out of the pack, goes towards the white direction. He fights hard to keep the ball in play. Does he? He does. A nice tackle late on Hopkins. The umpire calls it even Stevens. There'll be a ball up the outer side of the ground. Morwell Recreation Reserve, preliminary final day.
You're right though, Poppy. Moe need this goal.
They do desperately. Willis got the ball. He plays on quickly, taken out of his hands and in the hand of Nagels. A quick kick inside forward 50. Trying to take it in one hand was Lloyd. Now coming through nicely was Blazer. In fact, it was Biffin for Moe. Over the top it goes. Is that Wood? No, it wasn't. It was McLeod, Lachlan McLeod, who couldn't get through the pack. A quick kick, top of the square. Leongatha nearly taking it. Play on was the call. Well, it was a claim for a mark from Tommy Fleming. The umpire will bounce it or ball it up just metres from Leongatha's goal as the Parrots leading by 22.
So right at the point of the square, Braganolo punches it towards the boundary line, and that was his intention, and he found it. Another stoppage, boundary throw in, 17 and make it 18 minutes gone.
Find Hume come over the back of that contest there too, so he must have got some clear touch on that ball. He's a nice player, young Hume. He's only still good. Thirds player.
Yep,
Scud.
Absolutely. I think he's played a couple of games for Gippsland Power as well, but back into this senior side after Maskell goes out of it. There's a quick kick and Harry out of this side as well. Slipping to ground there was Easton, lost the handle on the football, picked up there by McLeod, gave it across now to Morrow. They get a handball out the back, but quickly wrapped up in that tackle. Matty Pearce was going to ground there, and the stoppage is right on the 50 for Leongatha. We've gone 18 and a half minutes. It's a really game sort of sitting on a knife's edge at the moment with the margin sitting at 22 points. You just think it's either way. If Moe get one, there's still a chance. They're back into it at coming 3/4 time. If Leongatha get one, well, it could just be enough to deflate Moe's chances. As Willis tapped it out of that clearance area. There's Olden, gave it out now quickly to Borshman. He got boot to ball, but only just. Coxedge was there, handball quickly. Blazer caught one over the shoulder, wins the free kick.
Leongatha are very good at bottlenecking the game, so they've got in front and they've just really slowed Moe up because I know he slowly could rebound back.
So I can see behind play Vince trying to put himself into this contest and have an impact. He can't. Went through the hands though of Moe just as they desperately needed the mark. And again, it's Biffin in the back half that takes the mark. Looks right, looks left, looks right again, like Hector the Cat did many years ago. Now he goes to the pocket where Reynolds makes room. And the right back pocket. Reynolds looks up and all he can see is green and gold with a sprinkling of burgundy.
Yeah, there's no real urgency on the leads, is there?
And he kicks to a 50-50 at best contest. He might get himself out of trouble here. And I speak of Ainsworth, but he won't. The umpire will come in and bounce it down. Right half-back flank. Moe desperately trying to will themselves closer to Moe.
So Sandbrook just comes back on, and so does Jaden Van Dyke, follows him. Blazer tried to crash through. Hopkins did well, though, to win it. Kick it high inside forward 50. Reynolds will fly and spoil. Ground level there is McLeod. Works his player off it nicely and then gathers it and then falls to ground, and Forrester crunched him over the shoulder. And a free kick goes to McLeod for Moe. 12 inside forward, inside 50s to 6 Leongatha's way this quarter. Switching kick from Moe, found Blazer. Quickly got it on. High kick on top of Van Dyke's head. Usually good in this situation. Found touch in front of Davidson. And we have a boundary throw in. Stat winners in this quarter. Verboon's got 4. Cameron Olden's had 5. While for Moe, Bernie Vince has 5 as well. And, James Blazer, that is, has 5. And right down the very bottom, Jordan Seppi has 6 touches this quarter.
Morrow lost concentration there. Didn't contest the boundary throw in, but fortunately for the Lions, they get a free kick last line of defence to Biffin, who's stood up, and he's kicked short to Cox Edge. Still inside defensive 50, comes grandstand side. The kick needs to be perfect. It is. Finds Pearce. Matt Pearce still at left half, or in fact right half back flank. He's going to go along the line. I'm not sure what his option was there, but it wasn't a good one because Woods was on the interchange bench and he took the mark. So that means it's out of play in the full. Playing on quickly was Davidson, or wanting to, but got called back to Brodie Easton.
Spent a lot of the year out, Brodie Easton. He's only played the 13 games this year. A lot of those were early.
He's paid the mark, the umpire.
Paid the mark, did he? I reckon that was lucky. Ganane went over high over his own teammate there and came down hard, but Tommy Fleming took the mark, and they'll have another go at it from right half-back flank. Again, they're just kicking has been a bit poor and trying to keep it in, but not being able to was Brodie Easton. So another boundary throw-in just to the left of Aotea from commentary position. It'll be Morrow v Willis with Scud calling the action.
So Morrow did well. Grabbed it out of the ruck, gave it to Blazer. He tries to get a handball over the top to Cox Edge, couldn't do so. Marriott gave it to Nagel, to Hopkins. They get it out to the fat side. Great work by Tyson Biffin. And Stanlake's out there as well. Kicks it off the ground. They look for touch again. Running quickly out there is Olden. Stanlake followed up his good work. Pushed him in the back. The umpire said the ball was over. Let's boundary throw it in on the far side. Front of the netball courts. We'll get you an A-grade netball score very shortly. The Tigers are taking on Moe over there as we travel 22 3/4 minutes into this third quarter. The margin's 22 points in favour of Leongatha.
And Blazer tries to bust his way through a pack of players and can't. So there hasn't been a whole lot, maybe a handful of perfect passages of play throughout the day. It's just been a real arm wrestle.
Morrow try to squeeze a handball out again to Van Dyke. Going to ground there was Marriott. And another stoppage right on the wing area. Beautiful Saturday afternoon. It's great to have your company listening to Gippsland Live here on TRFM. It is preliminary final day, and of course the winner goes in to next week's grand final against Moe. Vince there from the stoppage, gave it up though. Hopkins handball to Nagel, kicked around his body. Dunn had to become the defender. And Fleming, who's had a good game across half back.
He's had a really good quarter, this one, Fleming as well. His marks and intercepts have been great. Just be critical on his kicking out.
Well, that's all thanks to Gippsland Isuzu Ute. Don't forget, get award-winning deals now on at Gippsland Isuzu, Princess Highway in Terrelgan.
He goes short, does Fleming, to Braganolo, who hasn't been their worst player. A bit of the ball. This is where they're breaking down, just trying to get out of defensive 50. They go short. They're still in the defensive 50. Biffin.
It's all one-on-ones, isn't it?
Is that Morrow with the ball now?
Yep.
So Morrow. Again, 3 possessions here, and they still haven't worked their way out of defensive 50. They're on the far side of the ground.
And this suits Leongatha, doesn't it?
It does. They've got plenty of time to set up. They kick long. Stanlake, Vince, I thought was taken out of it illegally. The umpire says no. Willis, a quick handball. Neat little flick by Cooper over the top to Kelly. And Kelly Oh, he nearly
Oh,
found Lloyd,
second.
just couldn't find that player. And the umpire says play on. Rennett's will try to keep it in there, does.
Lloyd's having one of those half days, isn't he?
Yeah, 24 and a half minutes gone. Still it's the Parrots that lead by 22. So no action on that scoreboard now for good 15 minutes, I'd imagine. 9 minutes it is, as Paul Carter holds up the 9 fingers.
Just to let you know, in the A-grade netball, Moore will have defeated Moe. They won by 14 goals over there. They go into a grand final. They take on Tarrolgan next week in the A-grade netball final, of course. The big grand final being held at Tarrolgan in season 2019. 25 minutes gone, third quarter. Bit of a stalemate at the moment. Last goal was kicked at the 14-minute mark to Chrissy Dunn. Moe has a big dumping tackle there from Ganane. Kick around the body from Easton goes to the top of the square. Rennett's with a big spoil. Back there as well was Fleming. He got tackled going over from Hopkins, and we'll have a boundary throw in again. 25 and a half minutes gone, and as we said, it will have to be a really big effort from Moe to turn this around in the final quarter, you'd think. As Ganane, can he get one right on three-quarter time? No. His snap-on goal was kept skinny. Another minor score. McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard, Australia's most popular barista, made coffees only at McCafe.
That's Leongatha 5-9-39. They lead Moe 2-4-16. Thanks to my lovely wife, just to remind me that Tom Hawkins has been cited and been offered 1 week. Thanks, Marty.
I expect Geelong to take that. Probably the best result for them.
Yeah, it's not a good result for Nick. He had 100 that he wouldn't be cited at all. Leongatha have the ball. They go inboard and they find Brock Davidson.
It's only taken you 3 hours to get that one out, but thanks anyway. Knucklehead.
Brock Davidson, left half forward flank, kicks it to the hot spot, but it's 4v1. Moe should win out. Have they? Not yet. Willis holds it in.
High.
A high tackle, unfortunately. A bit sloppy by the big guy, who was outnumbered and did a good job nonetheless, but Breganola will get yet another kick. They haven't seen much of the forward 50, have they, for a little while?
No, well, the inside 50s, it's 16-6, but it's the last 10, inside forward 50s for Leongatha. So a huge discrepancy. And we've had a couple of goals in that last 10 inside 50s as well. As now there's a chance, can they get some overlap run? Long had it on the wing to Jacob Wood. He took on Sandbrook. He got flattened. The ball goes over. The Leongatha supporters love it. Of course, Sandbrook played at Moe a couple of years ago. And again, a stoppage right on centre wing, right in front of the grandstand. And again, Wood goes and gets it. This time, Willis takes him in a strong tackle. We're going to ball up again.
Well, they all gave Sandbrook the high fives for a good hit. Woods, meanwhile, was chasing the ball.
He came off. He's a backman. He came off to stop it at the wing area. So good work by Sandbrook.
There he goes again.
Wood's been good. Handball across to open space. White goes down to win it. Marriott puts him over. And again, Lachlan Sims had 2 touches for the day. Handball and a kick now. Boundary throw in right in front of him. 28 minutes have gone. What can the coach do from the sidelines? He'll be preparing his final speech perhaps for season 2019, or will it be an inspiring one to get the Lions over the line? Can they get one late? Van Dyke ducked into trouble. He gave a handball away though. Here's Farrell, lowers the eyes. Missed Jaden Van Dyke. Skelling's back there on his own. White peels off and allows Skelling to do what he's like down back. He kicks it backwards to Sovereign, and he takes the uncontested mark. Now Skelling's still on if you want to go back to him, but he decides to cross the goals. Cooper can mark. Is there anyone in the middle? Presenting there was Forrester, but he kept it towards the boundary line. Cooper, big pack will form. No one can mark. Farrell had to kick it off the ground. He just got it inside 50 again, did the Lions. Cooper goes and wins it.
Good tackle.
Seppi tackled him. The umpire very quick on the whistle again. And we'll ball it up 40 metres out from Moe's goal. They need one before three-quarter time.
Scott, if they do their review, Moe, right now, it's just about that skill level. Those skills have really let them down this afternoon.
And yet they've got a lot of skillful plays in the side. Free kick behind play. Leongatha holding the man. It could have been their last opportunity for Moe. The free kick will go Leongatha's way.
Borshman, I think. Yep.
And Borshman, with his side leading by 23, remembering that Moe have only managed 16 to date anyway. His kick wasn't as good as it should be, and they might get one last go at it. Seppi gives ground, keeps possession, and off they go. They kick. The kick isn't great, though. White nearly got a hand to it. Hang on, it's staying.
Oh, big
And
hit.
Sandbrook hits another Moe player. So that's 2 in a couple of minutes. The player was Prestige, but it bounced back up again. They've done well.
They must get something here right on the three-quarter time siren. You'd think not too far away. Farrell gets it out the back. Here's going to be a shot from Seppi. It's going to land short. And Sculling all on his own marks it in the goal square.
They're fantastic at getting numbers back, aren't they, Leongatha? They'll get them all back.
They just work well together.
They work really, really well together.
And there it was. The three-quarter time siren sounds. Moe, a 2 goals 14, 16, and Leongatha a 5. Sorry, 2 goals 4, 16. Leongatha a 5-9, 39. And that is a 23-point margin going into three-quarter time. Is Leongatha about to go into another grand final, or has Coach Lachlan Sim got one big spray left, one inspiring speech that will get them over the line? It's three-quarter time, 23 points as a margin, and it's all for Harvey Norman Electrical.
Fitzy and Whipper.
Can you find out why it's called an alley-oop?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's French.
That's what our mum would have said to us.
NAB League.
And Scott, if we put, well, before the bounce, in the reserves in the North Gippsland Football League, it was Yarram 11-12-78. They defeated Churchill 7-12-54. And in the under-18s, Glengarry 8-20-68 defeated Churchill 3-5-23.
And earlier today in the under-16s of the TRFM Gippsland League, it was Tarrogin defeating Moe there by 80-48. In the under-18s, Tarrogin got over the Tarrogin lost to Leongatha by 3 points, an absolute thriller. But Tarrogin did win the reserves. They beat Leongatha 7-9-51 to Leongatha 4-4-28. Poppy, what can you make of this final quarter?
Well, I think the game's done and dusted, to be honest. I don't think Leongatha will give this lead up. It's going to take something special, something we haven't seen for a long time. I'm not sure that Moe are showing signs of giving that, but if they can get a win on the board early, who knows? And this is what they're looking for right now. They've got a free kick, centre of the ground. Kicking to the left of Radio. They'll kick to within 30 metres. Can White take them up? He can't. He was beaten in the air beautifully by Burboon.
Wow, what a game.
He's an
backed his
incredible
judgment
mark.
in. And remembering, of course, White started the game off in a blaze of glory, but Burboon's settled. He gives to Westaway, who in turn gives to his teammate in Easton. If you're in the box, you know what I'm laughing at. Scud's pointing to numbers left, right and centre because I can't see the other side of the ground.
So a boundary throw in.
You're going to have to take your hat off.
Inside a minute. Far side of the ground here at the Morwell Rec Reserve. Just repeating that in the A grade, Morwell have defeated Moe. They play Tarrogin next week in the A grade grand final. Hopkins back here at ground level. Fleming's been good for Moe. Gets it back inside forward 50 again. It dribbles over the back. No one's touched this. It's not going to score though. Chris Baboon's there again. Chips a kick to Nagel. Van Dyke had to spoil it and just lost it in front of a big crowd building who has witnessed a great game of football, depending on who you're barracking for, of course, but there is a big crowd on prelim final day here in the Gippsland League as they lead by 23 points to Leongatha, but it's been Moe inside 50 to open up this last quarter. Van Dyke gave it to Blazer, got it out towards Vince. Left foot kick goes high to the pocket. Westaway will take this one as it went out of bounds on the full. So Westaway just waits. This back six of Leongatha is hard to kick goals on. Nice kick inboard to Baboon. They've taken the risks all day. Out wide to Scalling. He's had a good game as well. He's played on Spencer White this afternoon. Kicks it to the wing though. That let him down. Braganole took the uncontested mark.
He did too. Just short of right half forward. Dances around his opponent, the man on the mark, and then kicks to within 30, but they haven't been able to find a winner for most of the day, and now's no exception. Sandbrook wasn't paid the mark. Gave possession, handballed it off, and defence turns into attack from defensive 50 through Stone. They hope they burst out of defensive 50 again, but again there's a mistake. And the boundary line will win out on this occasion. Boundary throw in, right half forward flank, Moe into attack.
Every time the ball comes inside, Scalling just seems to find the right position. You can just see some frustration now there with Spencer White, just ripping players out of the way so we can get an easy run at that mark.
So from the stoppage, we're about 70 metres out. Now, at least it's all one-on-ones. The smalls are in there as well, but Leongatha just work harder from this stoppage. They've already got one back, and that's Stone. And now eventually the ball comes in. Stone will be the loose man, and a big pack will form. Verboom will take the mark. He wasn't paid it in the end. He got called to play on and kicked it high, where Vince marked it. He got it back inside forward pretty quickly. Can someone take a mark for him? Spencer White was in the last line. There was a big spoil by Sandbrook to rush that through, and that's a minor score on the Carpet Country scoreboard.
And it's Leongatha 5-9-39. They lead Moe 2-5-17.
So they need to kick 2 goals in succession just to get some run in their legs and some belief that they can actually do it. A free kick paid against Leongatha will go Stan Lake's way, or will it? No, it'll go the way of Tommy Fleming. He'll go short to Blazer.
So 6 inside forward 50s now early in this last quarter for Moe.
Nothing to show for it. That's the problem. Blazer called to play on. Runs on the left. Kicks to the left pocket. Not the greatest option, I wouldn't have thought. Play on's the call. Got Moe players fighting for it. They'll all be beaten by the boundary, or will they? Yep, eventually. Inside forward 50 again, 45 metres from home.
Westaway looks a little bit proppy down back.
Just that inside 50 setup for Moe. It's just falls down. It's just falling down. Especially with the calibre of players they got inside 50, they still can't manage to get the ball inside quick enough.
Well, Hopkins won it from the stoppage, gave it up to no one though. Quick handball out Bowman over the top to Marriott. He handballs over his shoulder. Sandbrook kicked it off the ground, and is that a free kick? Play on, said the umpire. Well, squaring kick from Forrester might not come off. Oh, good tackle from Sandbrook on Biffin holding the ball, and Biffin smiles, and so does Sandbrook. Ex-teammates, of course. Sandbrook squares it up. They get it to the middle of the ground. Out there is Stone. He slows it up, chips it over the top. Marriott presented. Just too strong in the body. Won it, kept his feet, runs to 49, and this could just about seal it. Marriott puts it through, and Leongatha extend it. They get out to a 28-point margin.
Superstar Sandbrook caps off what's already been a fantastic afternoon for him personally. But that's that quick switch that Scott actually even spoke about pre-game that Leongatha are lethal at. Got the ball quickly moving into hands of Tommy Marriott, who's just held his ground beautifully. But he ran into an open goal and said, good night. I think she's all done and dusted now for Moe. And on the Carpet Country scoreboard, it is now Leongatha 6-9-45. They are comfortable leaders over Moe 2-5-17.
So Moe have 7 inside forward 50s for minimal score. Make it 1 point. They go inside 50 once, and they get the goal.
How many times does it happen? Does it? Hey, they go inside 50 again, Moe. Let's see if they can get a result this time. They've got their best chance of the afternoon, or have they? A quick kick forward? No.
Good pressure.
Off play. Tommy Fleming was dragged to the ground by Josh Hopkins.
Great pressure.
And they've done that on a lot of occasions today, that pressure that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but has an impact on the game.
Nagel squared it up to Verboon, who comes out towards the grandstand side where Scalling marks. Borshman's just come on the bench and no one goes with him, but the high kick, it's going to sit on his head, but they don't get there. He drops the mark. He's able to get it. And then handball out to some open space. Vince is there, sold some candy, then kicks it out wide. Good kick in the end. I think Hayden Prestige might be able to run onto it. Gathers it, kicks it inside 50. There's Farrell, but it bounces over his head. He gets a shocking bounce. It was all on his loan. 5 metres clear.
I'm laughing because it's one of those days.
Yep.
He's so tall and it still managed to bounce over his head. That's just the way the afternoon's gone for Moe.
So a boundary throw in. We're 6.5 minutes in and the margin's out to a game high 27 points. And from this stoppage, a quick kick goes across the face and we'll have another boundary throw in.
Scud, the reports out of the North Gippy Grand Final is it is on for Young and Old down there, and the wind's favouring the Yarra men, but Churchill have gone off to now a 7-point lead, 6-7-43 to 5-6-36, 12 minutes played in the third quarter.
Keep those coming. Grand Final, of course. Morrow had a fresh airy. Verboon grabbed it and wrapped up. Chris Verboon's been fantastic.
I don't get it. You can see how much of control of the game he gets, but yet he gets so much space and opposition coaches just let it go.
Morrow tapped it down. Vince got one over the shoulder. The umpire said play on. Kick comes out of the forward 50 for Moe. Dunn was there at ground level. Dives, drags it back in. They wrap him up in the tackle and they pay my ball straight away. If you let that go a little bit longer, it's holding the ball.
Do you think that Bernie Vince, the umpire, might have been licking his finger because he had it up there and he was going to blow it for a free kick?
Willis, big tap out, running onto that one there is McLeod, kicks it inside forward 50. Verboon leads the task. Stone was back there as well to help out. He barrels it outside. Hume couldn't quite mark it. Long was there, goes to ground, gets a handball away. Willis picked it up and Morrow tried to dump him and couldn't.
Scud, we don't have the exact scores in the East Gippsland Football League Grand Final play between Boysdale and Lindenau, but we can tell you that Lindenau are leading by 50 points. Late into the last quarter, we would think.
Big upset there.
Yeah, they'd be happy with that. The ball on the arc of 50. Moe again continue their attack. They've done for probably 7 of the 8 minutes we've played in this final quarter, but still that margin is 27 points.
10 inside 50s to 1.
Wow. Morrow gets the tap. Can he find a teammate? He can. Can that teammate in Seppi find space? He cannot. And now Willis does to Morrow what Morrow couldn't do to Willis, dump him. And the ball spills out. Looks as though he may have been injured then.
Westaway, he has looked proppy for the last 5 minutes, but continues to stay out there. I agree with you, Poppy.
He looked like a right ankle maybe or something, but
he just can't run.
I'll check with
Dr. Riviera, boxer.
My eyes are on it.
Well, can they get something from this stoppage? Ball's been parked inside Moe's forward 50 for the best of this 9 minutes in this last quarter, but the time just keeps ticking away, and the margin still sits at 27.
He could have a boil on his foot or something.
You know what I mean?
Well, he's coming off now. You go have a look, Box.
Oh, yeah.
There's a Marriott quick kick over his shoulder that was smothered. Skelling did well.
Jeez.
Just barrels it out of defensive 50. It lands 60 metres away from home. It's 2-on-1, and the one has done excellent, and that was Olden. He wins it and gave it to Stone. Just gets his kick away. It's open space. Are they going to get 2 inside forward 50s for 2 goals? Ganane took on the tackler. He's just got to get it out because on his own there is Lloyd. Now winning it back there was Renitz. He handballs out to some open space. Coxedge was there. Olden comes in to try and win it off the ground as well. Couldn't do so. And from 48 metres out, we've got a ball up inside Leongatha's forward 50 now.
Yeah, Scott, I reckon he's just like a corky or a stinger. They're not too concerned about the trainers. Haven't gone and given him any attention at all, so I don't think it's anything too serious for Westaway.
Yeah, you're right. It could be a boil. Ball inside defensive 50. Wood, quick kick, defensive towards White, out the back of the pack. Race is on. Moe win the race, but all of a sudden the numbers start to pack up and the Parrots assert their control again. A quick kick. Forward 50 falls fortuitously in the arms of Brock Davidson, who will kick from the arc of 50. So I'd imagine he might try to go short. And
he
there
does.
It is. He does it. So he finds Jack Hume, who was taken from the ground after clashing with Renitz earlier.
I'm surprised Scud doesn't get blood blisters in his nails.
Well, from?
Pointing at that thing all afternoon.
He does. He plays a mean keyboard.
Paul's trying to talk. We might have a go at talking, Paul.
Hume's kicking to the highway.
Yes.
Yes, he is.
Oh, balls only work for the day.
Timed him.
As Hume is kicking towards the highway end. And he comes in from 48, puts it on its way. They've only had 3 inside forward 50s. That one's a minor score. And on the Carpet Country scoreboard, Box Lacino.
It is Leongatha 6-10, 46. They lead Moe 2-6, 18. 2 goals from Moe. Poppy isn't what you would think you would get out of a final, especially in a prelim.
No, you're right. They've sort of looked a bit out of sorts all day, haven't they, really?
Yep. 6 goals, 10 is probably not the best either for Leongatha either.
No, it's not.
For their high accuracy that they've been this year. Tommy Long decides to have enough and take it on from half back, drives it half forward. White lets it bounce over the back of his head. Cooper was there first to get it though for Leongatha, and he got shoved in the back, and that's a free kick every day of the week. The ball was going over, and the free kick goes to Kyle Cooper.
He's been frustrated. I've been watching him the last 5 or so minutes. He's been scragging players off the ball. That was a silly head loss free kick there as well by White.
So from the right half-back flank, Leongatha kick to a 2-on-1, and consequently Arenett's fist finds the boundary line right in front of our TRFM commentary position, Boxer.
Yeah, the North Gippy, it's really going. It's tooth and nail there. Yarram now hit the front, 7-6, 48. Churchill 6-7, 43.
Kicking with the breeze too, we believe. Slight breeze that it is over there. As Willis tries to get out the back, Sim got wrapped up in the tackle. Not going anywhere. We've gone 12 and a half minutes. Moe lead the inside 50 since last quarter, 11-3. But Leongatha got the only goal and still lead by 28 points. Blazer, can he get something going from half-back? Wins it, handballs out towards Wood. Wood looks back inboard. There's no one really on. He's got to pinpoint this one to Seppi, and he does. And Seppi wants to get things going as well quickly. They've got to start taking some risks. They've got to start driving it down the middle of the ground. He squares it up to Blazer. Chip it over the top to Wood. Down the line they go. Tries to step around, he does, inside of Easton. Gets around Bowman, has a bounce, drives it in. It is one-on-ones. Can someone take a mark for Moe? Vaboom was over the back, didn't mark. Won it himself, spun around, ran outside his defensive 50 and found Ben Willis.
He did too. Ben Willis has got a couple of options too, a few inboard. He's going to choose one of those.
Yep.
Out the back it goes, and if you look forward too, we've got Ganane going left and right. The kick smothered though. First player there is going to be Nick Nagel. He goes left, goes right. Look at this Ganane on the end of it. No, couldn't quite hold it down. Good pressure, though, from the back half. I'll get another go at it. In fact, it looks as though this game, most of us going through the motions. A kick from 45 falls in the arms of
Braganolo, yep.
Braganolo.
Got it out
the outside. Here we go.
Biffin gets it over the top to Prestige. Inboard is Sim if he wants him. Does he pull the trigger? He does. Hits him up. Doesn't quite take the mark, but a free kick, push in the back. And Hopkins will man the mark. We've got the ball about to come back. I'm not sure if this is going to be a free kick in the end, as it looks like to be a ball up as they roll around this one. I'm not too sure what happened there. And we have a ball up.
We do. Left half forward flank.
Well,
Leongatha into attack. They're leading by 28 points. Had to quickly do some calculations there. Using what my teacher always said I would use, Pythagoras's theory.
Whose theory?
You ever go at that box?
I don't know.
Willis gets a tap down.
Penultimate, that's it.
We used that in the pre-game.
Yeah, sorry.
He's only just got a handle on it.
Hopkins dances around. Look at this, inside the corridor. Easy, nice Nagel.
Yeah. Well, this is all getting a little bit too easy now, and this will get the margin out over the 30-point range, out to about 34, in fact, if he puts it through. And it's been a disappointing day for the Lions outfit. I just thought they were starting to get their structure, their game plan going. And in the end, I think, as you said at the start of the game, Poppy, they were hanging on. Maybe we sort of gave them a little bit more credit, but Leongatha, you always fear the side coming off a loss. It happened last night. Everyone was talking about West Coast, and in the end, Geelong got the job done. Don't be surprised Brisbane get over the top of GWS tonight as well, as Leongatha look to extend the margin through Nagel, and he can't. It's a minor score.
And on the Carpet Country scoreboard, we have Leongatha 6'11", 47.
Oh, you got the sponsor right, and you got the score wrong. You were so close.
I had Daryl watching me, and I thought, oh no, he's put the moz on me.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like what you've done today with Moe when you took them by 27 points.
I did. Did I say 27, Moe?
you did.
I meant to Leongatha, obviously. The ball spits out, forward defensive 50. Dancing around a couple was Reese. Gives ground, keeps possession. And now feeding off is Fleming to Stan Lake, who goes long to wide. He's outnumbered. And out the back, flying high, but not taking the mark, unfortunately for him.
So Lloyd barreled it back in, but Stanlake dropped the mark that he really should have taken. And now, under a little bit of pressure, driven into the ground.
The shine's gone off this game, hasn't it?
Just a fraction.
You are the true kiss of death, aren't you?
Yes, I am. And I reckon you'll get the quadrella today.
No, I don't think I will.
16 and a half minutes. Big tap there by Farrell, but Hopkins won it, kicked it to the hot spot. Stanlake this time takes the chest mark going back. He's got Biffin on this side, decided to go to the far side where Seppi presented. Spoiled by Forrester. Ground level there looked to be Stone. Seppi had to wrap him up in a tackle. Top of the 50. 17 minutes have gone. You can't see any spark happening for the Lions now. And Mafra, what do you think they take out of today's game, Boxer? Are they here, do you think, watching? Or they have
the word is that the senior coach is out watching at Boysdale, which is not surprising.
No.
He did coach their last premiership out there at Boysdale.
Well, what would you be out there for? You won't be out there. He wouldn't be out there.
Yeah, you'd think he would. But at the same time, look, there's some sore bodies there for Leongatha as well. And I noticed now they've got Bowman, Westaway and Marriott now resting on the bench too. So hopefully, nothing too serious. It's just sore bodies, and they'll need a good recovery this week because Mafra will be nice and fresh going into next Saturday.
They will indeed.
A couple of big question marks over a few players that didn't play last week, namely Petro and Kieran Jones in the ruck duty. So it'll be interesting to see what happens on the training track. Of course, the True to Ward and Roddle Medal winner will be announced and vote counted on Monday night. As Hume has a shot at goal here for Leongatha, bounces away and misses everything out of bounds. Have we got a tip, boys, for the True to Ward and Roddle Medal winner? Okay, think about that one. We'll get back to that in our post-game. We might have a quick chat about that. As Leongatha are in total control here on prelim final day. 29 points is the margin. And we'll have a secondary boundary throw in as the numbers flood back in now. So Willis stays out of this stoppage, allows the forward in Lloyd to do it. Vince was back there. High barreling kick, clears the pressure. Van Dyke couldn't get a handle on it. Ainsworth tried to tackle Cooper, but the numbers there for Leongatha. They've been pretty good all day. McLeod came over the top of Davidson. He tapped it. And we'll have a boundary throw in. 18, make it 19 minutes gone, final quarter. We're going to North Gippy score, Boxer. You're chasing those for us.
Yeah, I'll get that up for you very shortly, Scud.
Big grand final North Gippsland footy.
Who's that brought to us by?
It is brought to you by Harvey Norman Furniture Stores.
It's a 2-point game down there, fellas. It's 7-9 Yarram, 51 to Churchill, 7-7 49.
Lachlan McLeod goes towards right half forward, gives and gets it back again. Now kicks to right half forward, true, but gee, the easiest of marks by Christopher Boone. I've already circled him as one of my better players today. I think him and Cole Zambrook are the standouts to my mind, but I'd be interested to hear who you boys...
I reckon he marks the ball in his sleep.
Yeah.
He just marks everything.
It's not hard to mark it in your sleep box.
Yeah, it's got a dream, and obviously they don't count. Anyway, I'm not even sure.
I'll take over, Poppy.
As Cade Maskell walks down in front of the commentary box here.
He does.
Well, big question. Will he come back into this side, plays in the grand final perhaps?
Yeah, I reckon he will.
21 days, right on the limit for Cade after doing a hamstring a couple of weeks ago. Westaway here now in the half-back line, kicks it out, Willis direction. Hopkins has been good today. Oh, he just backpedaled there over. Boundary throw-in. As they lead it by 29 points at 6-11-47 Leongatha. Moe at 2-6-18. That's right, 2 goals in beautiful conditions. Great day here on a Saturday afternoon. Moe's only managed the 2 goals and have really struggled against this might of Leongatha, who are looking for 3 flags in a row. As Spencer White grabs one 40 metres out, quickly plays on and from 49 metres, sprays it, missed it.
Pretty sure the umpire called time on. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he
so bring it back, mate.
And why on earth are we calling time on when a forward wants to get things going? He takes the mark within 2 steps. He plays on. You simply don't call time on at that point.
Unfortunately, I have to agree with you.
Well,
Darryl?
lucky for Moe, they missed, but it's not going to make any difference. However, just felt they've been a little bit trigger happy today. 21 minutes gone. Spencer White, he hasn't got one today.
Can they kick 5 goals in 5 minutes and win it by a point?
Well,
No.
Lee Matthews theory, you would think, but no.
Let's
Not
have a
the way
look
they played
at
today.
must-start here. Big moments for Monticello. Spencer White needs a goal, 49 metres. It's a helicopter, but it gets the distance and goes straight through the middle. Probably one of the ugliest goals you'll see in the TRFM Gippsland League in season 2019.
Yeah, it wasn't a great finish, and I was going to call it something on a stick, but I don't know if I can say that on here.
Poo on a stick?
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. But look, their third goal for the afternoon. I'm going to try and say something really positive for Moe. So we might just go quickly to the scoreboards, thanks to Carpet Country. And it's Leongatha 6-11-47. They lead Moe 3-6-24.
Was that your positive?
Yeah, the scoreboard.
Goodness.
Make sure you get to the doctors this week, Paul Carter. We need you, bud.
Do we ever?
Blake
Here they go.
His way out of forward 50. Can he find? He can. McLeod, he fights hard. He kicks to the advantage of Blazer. Can he get there first? He can't. He was beaten to the ball by Forrester, whose left leg is to space around about left half forward flank. First player there is Brodie Easton, but he's beaten to it by the boundary.
He's been pretty good, Easton, I think, for his inclusion. I think he's been very good.
Yeah, it comes back into the side.
We have another lead change in the North Gippsland Football League Grand Final. 3/4 time, Churchill 8-7-55 against the Breeze. Yarram 7-9-51.
Ball left half forward flank. Scud's going to call us home.
Seppi got wrapped up in the tackle. Sorry, Poppy. Nothing really happening out there on the half forward flank for Leongatha.
Now, we have been corrected on his surname, but we're sticking with Seppi. But the word around town, it's Cheppy.
Well, I'll change it next year if that's the case. But anyway, Vince there from the stoppage. Is that correct? Got it out to Olden. He handled over the top to Hopkins, shrugged a tackle, lowers the eyes and hits up a target. And Lloyd, on a strong lead, can turn around and drill one to Nagel. And he's 48 metres out. It'll have to be a long, long kick from there as Nagel goes back with a little bit of purpose. Davidson presents. He goes inboard to Forrester. Well, not sure we're any close to the goal. However, we now directly in front. And does Forrester have the legs? So 23 and a half minutes gone. The margin is 23 points. And Sam Forrester is directly in front. I thought he was a little bit unlucky to be dropped for that first final. And he comes back in. And we'll have a shot for goal from about 50 metres. 51, make it, left foot kick. Hasn't quite got the distance, or has it touched on the very last line? Carpet Country scoreboard.
Leongatha 6-12-48. Moe 3-6-24.
So they'll come from defence now. Will Moe towards the outer side of the ground. A kick to space. I tell you what, the ball just doesn't bounce your way. Easton inboard, but that kick was poor too. Falls in the arms of Bernie Vince. One of his rare possessions today. Not that he's been terrible, but he hasn't been to his normal high standards. They go short to Tom Long from centre half back towards that outer side wing.
20 touches for Vince today.
Well, on a poor day, it's pretty good. But Long couldn't have picked his opposition player in Willis any better if he tried, and Willis takes a mark on the outer side of the ground and then finds he's got a bit of room to move. That attempt by Easton was poor, but he had so much time that he managed to get a kick forward. But again, Biffin took the mark, defensive 50, goes short inboard. Vince waits and gets his 21st possession. Again, the kick is a nice one to Sim. He'll run and go, and he's got a player on the move, and that player is Tommy Fleming. His left leg wasn't as good as it should be. White gives it. I'm not sure who to. It's supposed to be to Fleming, but Sim gets hold of it and then dances around one or two and kicks to within the threatening the 50. Nicely done by Leongatha.
Lots of numbers.
They've just stood tall all day. They've been rock solid really all day.
Yeah, they certainly have. But their back six has been amazing today. They look after each other. They call people back in the flight. They go back with courage. Cooper went back with courage and got crunched. comes back out in the ground.
Just with Westaway on the bench, guys, as he's cooled down, looks like whatever he's got, looks like his right calf or ankle it's just got a little bit sorer.
So Blazer down from 55, puts it on the boot, it goes back, and Sovereign lets it go over his head for a minor score.
And on the Carpet Country scoreboard, we have Leongatha 6-12-48. They lead Moe 3-6-24.
And around the grounds, quick box.
It's still three-quarter time there, big man. So,
and some of the key matchups here.
Marriott's on the bench.
So Hume now has it for Leongatha.
Why?
Halfback, he chips it over the top to Chrissy Dunn. Marks comes back inboard to Hopkins. This will be exciting next week as Hopkins just grabs the groin on that occasion, probably a little bit of cramp. Goes over the top to Dunn again. So they're going nice and slow at the moment. 26 and a half minutes gone. Goes back to Hopkins. Will he decide to switch it? Well, he goes back inside his defensive 50 to Skelling. Well, they're just holding on to it now. They're just running down time. Jack Hume has it.
Do you know at the moment that Moe have won 2 quarters of footy here today? If my calculations are right. I reckon
they won the second.
And at the moment, Moe have added 1 goal 3 in the third to 1
I think we're level.
4. 1 goal 3,
so we're spot on. So we're
amazing,
level.
isn't it? That they've never ever looked like it, and yet they're a point away from winning half a game of footy.
Exactly right.
I can't believe he's still awake at 4:45. But anyway,
that's tired.
He's been good today.
It's been all right.
27 and a half minutes gone. Can't be long to go now. And Leongatha boys don't want to get in any sort of scuffle as Farrell tapped it over the back and Olden quickly got tackled by Blazer. And we'll have another stoppage. Earlier wins today. Well, Terrelgan go through in the reserves. They defeated Leongatha. As we'll just go back here for a moment. Fleming at the half-forward flank gave it to Sim. Let Moe go inside forward 50. The target was Scott Van Dyke. Front and square was Ainsworth. Kicks around his body. And, well, they get the point, which means they've won the quarter. And on the Carpet Country scoreboard boxer, it now reads...
Leongatha 6-12-48. They lead Moe 3-8-26.
Oh, God, I can't work with this. Sandbrook with the ball towards the outer side of the ground.
We call them management.
My theory is if I don't do it well, I won't have to do it again.
True. Well, there's no chance of...
There it is. Leongatha are into another grand final. Moe's season is done and dusted. They've used 43 players this year, Leongatha. They've had an up and down season, but they've somehow managed to keep their season alive when it counted in the middle part. They've come on strong in the final part of the season, and they've won today's prelim final. They get another chance at Maffra next week. They're looking for a three-peat. Choo-choo. Oh, he's on the Parrot train, is he? It's going to be a big Saturday afternoon next week from the Terrelgan Showgrounds. As the grand final for Maffra and Leongatha will be the 4th time we have a grand final between these two sides in the TRFM Gippsland League. Maffra got the first, Leongatha gets the next 2, and of course they go at battle at it next weekend on Saturday afternoon. Today, Leongatha 6-12-48 have defeated Moe 3-8-26. The margin, 22 points. And it was the Parrots' way. 2 goals to Tommy Marriott, singles to Hopkins, Ganane and Cameron Stone. Chrissy Dunn's also in there for a goal as well. And for Moe, it was all singles, only the 3 goal scorers today. And that was Sim, White and Jacob Wood. We'll go to a break. We're going to send one of the boys down into the victorious Leongatha rooms. We'll get up one of their star players as they book themselves another grand final berth. You're listening to Gippsland Live right here on TRFM for Harvey Norman Electrical.
Kennedy, Franklin, Brown and Lynch. They're all...
If you had something to eat,